Demzly presents from the UK, the new Demzly Show.
You are now about to witness the strength of street knowledge.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a brand new episode of the Demzly Show. Did you like my gun? It was cross-bordered, pea shooter style, okay? But I was out of ammo and I was out of bullets. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. It's a pleasure to have you back with me, okay? I'm going to try a bit of a different scenery as it goes now, okay? Just for the rough sort of thing until we get back in the office, get back things sorted, okay? So let me just say, but this Demzly Show, we're not going to be doing show after show and interview after interview. What we're going to be doing is going to be doing one-offs here and there, making them really, you know what I mean? I don't want just loads one-off. So we're just going to, people who want to be interviewed, just inbox me and we'll get it sorted, okay? So as you can see, I've got my main mic in the studio. He's doing the music, okay? And he's going to be doing some epic stuff, you know, with the musics and the edits and all that type of stuff, okay? And I've just got to say thank you ever so much for Clarence McKenzie for doing the intros and the outros, okay? It means a lot for us. Okay, so I'll put down my gas, okay? So what I want to do, ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome back a guest on the Demzly Show, okay? Richard Rogers valued his opinion greatly, okay? And was good friends and that, and Richard Rogers, he really did like the show, but he did, and this is one of the reasons why I brought it back, out of respect and, you know, just a bit of nostalgia. So there's still a lot of martial arts out there who've got a lot to say, who really want to share a lot of things, okay? And, you know, the world in which we live in now, in terms of technology and stuff like that, you know, it'd be a bit of a crime not to like do it and, you know, bring people back or whatever. So what we're going to do now, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to join me. What's that there? You're join me for the Demzly clap. None other than Wushurichard. You've got to get the clap in. You've got to get the clap in. You've got to get the So ladies and gentlemen, thank you and welcome back to the Demzly Show. I hope you're all well, okay? So we have Wushurichard on the show, aka Richard Clark, okay? Now Richard Clark is a teacher in China, okay? He did reside in London, but he moved over to China to teach English, okay? Now, Richard, thank you so much for coming on the show, okay?
Yeah, hello Demzly and hello everybody, and thank you so much Demzly for letting me be on the Demzly Show once again. It means a lot to me. Thank you so much.
I'm not going to ask how you got involved in martial arts, because everybody asks the same sort of question. I'm going to ask, why did you get involved in martial arts, okay? What took you from London, the rough streets of London, what took you from London over to China on your own? What sort of a person, what does it take for a sort of a person to be able to do that, you know, to be able to do things like going over on your own? Can you please elaborate? Thank you very much.
Okay, so answering the first questions there, I'll say, yeah, the basic thing was, I did start my martial arts learning back in London, in England, and I continued learning some more when I come to China. I started with karate, learning under the excellent teacher Basil Fraser. I moved on from there really. After karate, I went on to kickboxing. I had a wonderful teacher called Fred Elson, who I'll never forget. And a kung fu instructor. I learned 5 animal kung fu because I was really wanting to get into kung fu at the time, you know. So I found a teacher. His name was Sifu Yap Leong. Okay, and he was just a good inspiration to me in my life too. And I learned a lot of basic techniques in kung fu and self-discipline more than anything else from him. But yeah, as I say, you mentioned the rough streets in London. I mean, it was basically, I've had a hard growing up. I mean, when I was in school, I used to get bullied and stuff. so badly. In fact, it wasn't. I mean, it wasn't as bad as some people, but it was like it affected me so much. And then basically we'd be like moving house. I mean, it's just like family issues and stuff. But it's like we're moving around a lot around London, living in different places. And that was very hard for me. I was living in some really rough areas, basically, and I will say, to an extent, the abuse that I've been through in my life, and the bullying and the hard growing up, it's affected me in such a way. It affected my education, I will say as well. I'll be honest about it. I mean, I didn't get the best education. And you know, what do you expect when you hear people, when you hear stories of people bringing guns and knives in and stuff, and you just don't know what to expect? So basically, I was going through a lot of crap. I used to get mugged and bullied and punked and robbed on the streets where I was living. There were druggies around. There were people, as I say, just messing up the place, basically. Going around, there was rapes going on and all kind of stuff that you'd hear stories of. The bus drivers used to get robbed and stuff. Vandalism. It was just absolutely a fear, and to this day I still have nightmares about the places where I used to grow up. One place where I did live for a while was the Alton Estate in Roehampton. Okay, that's one such rough place where I used to live. But I mean, it's not supposedly world known as such as being like one of the roughest places, but it really was. Where I was living, and it was absolute terror, to be honest with you, and I still have nightmares of those lifts and the building, you know, because it was just a fear coming in home from work or coming home from college. You know, when I was working really hard. I was working in really, I mean, rubbish, you know, low-paid jobs. People close to me had drink problems too, so it was like really awkward, and then home issues and everything. It was just really, really. I was just exhausted, to be honest with you. I've got a little brother as well called Wayne. Hi, if you're watching, Wayne, he's great. You know, but as I say, at the time, it was just awful, and I was coming home, you know, and so like basically I was like doing my martial arts in my free time, as I say, like when I wasn't working. All my money I was giving to my mum and my family, and that my money at the time. Anyway, I just wanted to get a way out. I wanted to get out of that situation. That's in a nutshell. I just wanted to get out of that situation. that was living in those conditions and working hours on end. I was travelling 3 hours to work and 3 hours back from work, long days, waking up early, sometimes coming home late of a night, and then to be getting robbed and all the rest of it, and not knowing if I'm going to get stabbed or whatever. It's just absolute hell. And you say learning martial arts, you know, make someone confident, and you learn all these fighting abilities and make yourself stronger in yourself. Fair enough, yeah, it did help me a lot, but you know, it was just living in that constant fear. I'd be going out half asleep, going to work, sometimes coming home because it's travelling wise, you know, and I had to do it to support the family and that, you know, and it was like, damn, you know, just coming home to that, you just never know what you're going to be facing. I remember one time I went into a lift and some guy put a bike across the door. 2 guys robbed me in there. I was threatening to stab people. One time I was with somebody else and he was threatening to be stabbed, and it's just, you know what I mean? It's just not an comfortable situation to be living in. It wasn't at all. Thank you.
That's what happens when people's mess with me, man. Right, back to business. Okay, so why Wushurichard? Why is your name Wushurichard? I understand you're into the Wushu forms and more the internal martial arts, okay? So, why the internal martial arts, okay? What drew you to the internal martial arts rather than like, I don't know, like Thai boxing, the MMA and stuff like that? Okay, how do you view today's society of martial arts? Where does it stand with you, okay? Do you have students over in China that you've taught? If so, could you explain the background, how you come across getting the students, okay? Was it daunting to teach at first? Who was your teachers over in China? What teachers did you have in martial arts? Please excuse my son in the background, he's having a good one, as we all have good ones, because I can easily, without a fail, pick up a banana and stick it in my earpiece. This is the thing that I'm saying about it, you know. So, What was it like basically in China? Was it a big move? Do you still have family back home? Okay. Could you tell us what star sign you are? Okay, I'm just throwing it all into the mix. Could you tell us what star sign you are? Okay. And obviously you've talked about already now. If you go back over this video and watch Richard's reply, because I'm backtracking, you'd have covered now your why you moved to China now.
Okay then, thank you Demzly for those questions. Yeah, answering those questions then. Firstly, I did take to the more traditional martial arts. When we talk about internal and external, I mean there's that in all the martial arts, internal and external. You find that in all martial arts, but in terms of that being basically not only the spirit and the drive of it all, but it's like different kinds of training. I won't go into too much detail here, but I took to the true like traditional ways of like kung fu, wushu, and things like that, karate. I love the traditional arts more than any sports, fighting, MMA, any of that. How do I see it, the situation currently in the martial arts? Basically, it's appalling. I'm not going to put it all down or anything, but it's like, to me, it's very, very sad to see that. I'm not putting MMA down or anything as such, but it's like people just only seem to know about MMA, and it's like they don't realise the benefits of true traditional martial arts. Notice how I put the word true on, because there's a lot of schools still about teaching traditional martial arts, and there's people like that even going in the gis and getting into competitions and stuff, and usually they get floored and knocked the fuck out, excuse my language, and the reason is because they're not doing true traditional martial arts. And I'm not trying to make excuses, it's just what it is, the facts are the facts. Right? The true martial arts, the way it was back in the day, it's just the knowledge that if you don't know it and you don't know what I'm talking about, if you don't know, if you haven't looked into it enough, then you will not know. So I'm not putting down MMA and all that and UFC saying, oh, this or that about that. I'm just saying that traditional martial arts is very deep, and I took to that knowledge, and it's very, very, that's a more fair way, I think, for me to put it across, because I keep comparing them as such, saying that traditional martial arts is much better and this and that, when nobody can understand that at all. You know, and but the true thing is, it's a really golden knowledge. There's so much knowledge to be found in true traditional martial arts. Well, what do you call true? I know, but I'm just saying, right? People, if you don't look into it and look around, I mean, you know, there's good and bad teachers and whatever, but I'm saying the thing is, it's like watering down to nothing these days, and it's very, very sad to see that something I care about dying out as such, you know what I mean? But the true martial arts are very, very deep. The reason I took to them is basically, mainly because I'm not slim anyway, I'm thin built, I'm not the biggest, toughest guy. Fair enough, you can work into that and go to gyms and stuff. But I took to the philosophy and the techniques, and it was what I came in contact with at the time. I started off in karate, later on I started watching like kung fu movies and stuff, you know, and that's what inspired me to do, to look for those arts. Plus the couple with the fact that a lot of skills in true traditional martial arts are catered towards people of all kinds of builds, all different builds, you know, men and women of different builds. So someone like me could learn some simple techniques for self-defense, but yet learning more and more about it, I realised that it's a discipline, and it's actually very strong and very, very effective. I could go into loads of detail now talking about the essences of kung fu and traditional martial arts, but you know, it's just very, very deep is what I will say, you know, and someone like yourself, Demzly, will know. People who know traditional martial arts will know exactly what I'm talking about, but you know, it's just two different things compared to MMA. I mean, it is two different things, is what I'll say. Anyway, how do I feel then about the current state? And when I say like it's appalling and that, I don't mean that it's appalling. I mean, if people want to do MMA and they want to go into the UFC, who the hell am I to say that? You know, they do train, they're physical trained, you know, fighters, and that's all they care about, going into the ring. But I just mean it seems kind of shallow sometimes when I see it's just like basically, you know, glorified competition between human beings, all for the glory of being the best in other people's eyes, or for the money, or for the gold bill. This kind of attitude is very, very shallow in life, and Kung Fu teaches us that. True martial arts teaches that. It's that inner self-drive, determination, all that. Fair enough, a lot of these MMA guys have it when they go into training, but honestly and truthfully, there's nothing glorified, there's nothing to be proud of, in my point of view, from my point of view I'm saying, and I'm saying my point of view, right, I'm not saying anybody else, there's nothing to be proud of. I would never be proud of going in for a ring fight, putting myself in, you know, in the risk of getting really seriously injured that I might not even recover from, or whatever, and then just for the sake of, because you hear some of these MMA guys or UFC guys who come out after the fights and that, or before the fights, and they say, I'm not doing it for the ego, I'm not doing it for the pride and the ego, I'm just doing it for that gold bill. What do you mean for that gold bill? What is that, or the #1 championship bill? What does that mean? It's just, you mean that you want to be recognised by people as being the best. I'm the best. I'm going to prove I'm the best. I can knock him the fuck out. All this, that's just totally weakness. Total weakness. Shabby. I'm just so happy I'm not those people. I might not be rich. I might not be on TV. I might be living my shit little life. Whatever, but, you know, I might be nobody in their eyes. But good luck to them. They can get on with it. You know. But traditional martial arts is like, it's about deep focus and discipline, and this stuff you can pass on to your kids, you can pass on to anyone, and that can bring out the best in you into whatever you do. So what I'm trying to say is a traditional martial artist, if they were to go into MMA or any art, any sport, it could be a sport or it could be an MMA, and they'd be able to do it much better. They'd be able to focus more and discipline themselves even harder. If they were true traditional martial artists, they'd come out tops than anything. But the difference is traditional martial arts teaches you to be more in control of yourself physically and mentally, so you learn to naturally be on the path of nature and naturally make the right choices in life. Okay, now Demzly, before we move on to the next question, I know I'm going to answer the other question you asked me about having students and stuff, and was that daunting, you know, basically, yeah. At first, it was very, very daunting at first having students. I've been a teacher in China now for nearly 10 years to this day. It's 2015 in this video. I've been teaching English in China. I've had hundreds upon hundreds of students daily, and I loved the job. But it was daunting. It was very, you don't say that. I mean, it was nerve-wracking anyway for me coming to China, you know, and it changing my whole life, you know, which I did when I ran away from England because of, you know, the crap I was going through, and I just had enough of it. Because sometimes you have to deal with a problem, you spend your whole life trying to deal with a problem, or a whole day wasting your time. Sometimes you just get jumped from one lily pad to the other. That's the best way to do it. But for me, you know, anyway, I came to China. Becoming a teacher was very daunting. It's just a very, very intimidating sometimes when you're standing there in front of a massive group of people, but you have to find the confidence in you, and I owe that all to the martial arts. So I have to say that. The martial arts is what kept me on the right path to not be afraid of myself. It taught me that, fine, you can be afraid of things in the world around you, but it's got to be not fear or confidence, but it's got to be knowing your knowledge and knowing your ability. Okay, you can't be afraid of yourself. You've got to understand yourself and know what your abilities are. Okay, I don't have the ability to deal with that problem. You know, I don't have the ability to beat that guy in a fist fight, as I say, you know, so because he's like too big and strong, for example, or I can't pick up that heavy thing because I just don't have the power. You have to understand what needs to be done and work towards self-development, and that's what I learned. Yeah, teaching students too, you mentioned, I have been teaching humbly for free to a lot of students over the years, girls and boys, for self-defense and fitness. When I say girls and boys, I mean like in their 20s and stuff, you know, but it's like, well, I've been like in their age, in their 20s, but it's like I've been teaching them mainly my Wing Chun and a bit of Tai Chi, self-defensive combat, I'm saying, strategies of self-defense, sticky hands, and just my ways of training. Incorporating some of the animal styles like the Kung Fu and a bit of karate and things like that. Just the way I train, because I like to train up what's useful, you know. But in the beginning I was like teaching just the Wushu forms and that, like the Wushu, the long fist, for like the fitness and that. And I still believe in it, it's all good training, I will say that. Okay, sorry, I'm also elaborating on those last questions you asked there. Sorry, I forgot to mention, so I'll just mention now about how I actually found, or how I actually find my students in terms of prowling for teaching the martial arts. That's absolutely right. Now, usually a good teacher, won't need to find his students, right? The students come to the teacher, but it's like, my first student was Kelly. Her name was Kelly the legend, I call her. She was my best student of like Wushu. Excuse me, I'm very tired as a teacher too, but it's like, she came to me and she asked me about it because I mentioned that I like martial arts. I must have just uttered it. I usually keep it to myself, especially in China, but it's like, I uttered it and nobody thought anything of it, but she came to me. I don't know, she wasn't even one of my students. She was someone who knew one of my other students or something, and she just came to me. It was like she was graduating anyway. It was her last year in the university, and she just came to me and she said, could I teach her some? Later on, she admitted to me that, in the beginning she wasn't really that into martial arts. She just wanted to speak to a foreigner and improve her English more. But she said after I showed her with the passion I've got about the martial arts, and after she learned so much, she got more and more into it. And she said she's really grateful to me, and she said she'll never forget that. And she was training so hard, and I will never forget how hard she trained. Really well done to Kelly. I can't pronounce her name, Xie Ningjuan, her Chinese name, but it's Kelly. I'll never forget. She was such a nice girl. She come from Hunan province. It was in China, but she's really nice and she was really good. From there it just escalated really. A couple of people joined her in training. Later on I started telling other groups of people. I just started to just tell people, ask people, are you interested in martial arts or anything? Just something I like. I said maybe I could teach them a little bit, and I was like humble about it. I was like, at the same time I'll be like nervous, and I'll just choose who I thought might be more suitable or might like it. I'd see people's personalities, what they like, and I think, and it was good for me. It was good because it helps me, because that's something I love teaching anyway, and I want to share the martial arts knowledge. And the only way to do that is by having open-minded people, and then people that are willing to practice with you. But it's like, it's like something for me to do too. I was like doing it on the weekends for free, just for free, and I was like just teaching people, just for free, obviously, and in groups. There'd be like pairs or massive groups. We'd be training out in the winter, in the snow, in the summer, in the sunshine, morning until lunchtime-ish for an hour or two or so. And I'll be doing my own training early in the mornings before, waking up early and that to do it. So, that's basically what happened now. Just teaching the students. I mean, it's a wonderful thing, I'll never forget. But most of the students I used to find myself. She was the first one, Kelly, who came to me. Another girl who I'll never forget, another student who was Go Yuqing, she's called Go Yuqing for the Wing Chun, and I'll never forget her. She learned so well with me the Wing Chun. So there's Kelly for the Wushu, and Go Yuqing, they're both Chinese, she learned for the Wing Chun with me, or Yung Chun Chuan, Wing Chun. That was great. And there's so many students' names I could pull out of a hat now and tell you that ones who I remember or this or that. But it's like they were all special, and it was good for me. It was fun for me. It was more than anything. It was pleasing for me because I had people to be with, to train something I like, to share what I have, and I felt good about it, and I wanted to share with people and teach people because I care about sharing this knowledge because it's going to die out. And it's like. But for the students, they learned on different levels. Some of them didn't learn so much because of their character and their attention span. They're all learning for a shorter time. Some people learn for longer and learn a bit more. But yeah, that's basically what happened. With that. The teachers, my teachers here, you mentioned about my teachers and stuff. I've had many teachers in my life, I'd say. Basil Fraser for karate, sorry. Fred Elson for kickboxing, Sifu Yap Leong for my 5 animal kung fu, a few other people, like Wing Chun, I learned a bit with another guy. But moving on though, to teachers in China, my main teachers were Sifu or Shifu, in Mandarin Chinese. His name was Fan Xin Li. Fan Xin Li, I learned my martial art, my wushu especially, forms and the broadsword and bow staff and all the wushu basics I learned from him. And I'm very grateful to that man for sharing, and plus he taught me for free too, compared to the other teachers, so that was good. It was just me too at the time. Another teacher I had was Master Tong, he was called Tong, or Tong Shifu, or Sifu. He was I learned Bagua basics with him, just basics. And also exercising, and we learned, he went over my Wushu form, one of the forms I knew, and he went over a few things and a few basics and explained them in a different way of training. He's trained, so that was more training from him as well I got. And everything else I've learned in the martial arts, so most of the other stuff, though, is online sources from videos, or the videos I used to collect when I was young, VHS, and then later DVDs, books or whatever, I'd do anything to and then training with other people too, training with people in the classes and stuff. And I was able to learn some Wing Chun in the 5 Animal Kung Fu classes, and that improved. That kind of got me into the Wing Chun, getting interested in Wing Chun too. And actually, it didn't actually. That exposed me, but it was later on I started to get really into it. Now Wing Chun's my main system, but as I've been studying from a lot of different other sources and just improving myself in the basics. I only know what I do about it. But I find Wing Chun's very, very a good style, and I incorporate a lot of Wing Chun into my training, is what I'll say, right? Tai Chi too, to be honest, I only had a little tiny bit of training with somebody on Tai Chi. The rest of it was just of observation, watching people training and copying. But isn't that the same thing anyway? And then plus, also watching videos and stuff online and that to get more knowledge, and then just practicing what I know. So I'm not an expert in any one style, I just know what I know in different styles. But the most experience, as in a school, formal training, was or with people, was, as I say, these is the karate, kickboxing, 5 Animal Kung Fu. We learned some basic qigong in there too. Weapons training, forms training, all the philosophy I'm so interested in. And then as I said, the Wushu basics, what I told you, the 2 teachers I have for the Wushu and those kind of styles, okay? So, yeah, that's that. Okay, yeah, that's true, Demzly, my brother. I do, I have a family in England, and I try to keep in contact through emails and stuff, just as conveniently as possible, convenient within because, we got different lives and things going on, but, of course, I do keep in contact. You mentioned star signs now. My mum used to always look at the star signs in the TV Times or what it was, the newspaper, whatever, back in the day. But for me, I am a Scorpio. It's a scorpion. I've got the stings, I've got the claws, but I'm not going to commit suicide. But what I'm saying, okay, is basically, it's like, I'm not one to totally believe in all of that. The way it's not that I believe it or I don't believe it, but what I'm saying is, regardless of the truth in that, I would say I'm not gonna, be positive or negative or a certain way in my life, or make choices in my life because of the way the stars are lined up in the sky in the universe, or the light from those stars light years away. Or the same as I'm not going to change myself, but some guy standing beside me and telling me what my life should be about. I'm going to look at wherever the picture is. I think it's Mystic Meg reading the star signs, or if it's someone really close to me telling me here. I don't care. I look at the situation, but I make the choice myself. I choose every day in myself to be positive in myself, and be me. You know what I mean? And just live my life to the full and be positive in myself, not because of stars, how they're lined up at this point in time in universe. I'm always going to keep positive and not waste my day, and that's what I'm going to say, no matter what. Even if the stars up there just suddenly change all of a sudden, or there's a misprint, I don't give a shit. I'm going to do my best, to live a better life, a happier life. Thank you very much.
I want to touch on something which is a bit of a sore subject, so I don't want to go into it in too much detail. I only share what you're comfortable with, okay? Right, now, you as the victim of bullying, you wasn't very popular growing up, okay? You wasn't what you could call somebody who looked like a physical stature, but I actually classed you as somebody whose brain and mind is absolutely quite dangerous, okay? I think your greatest strength is definitely your mind, okay? So could you just maybe let us in on a little bit of what you had to endure over there? What pushes a man to leave a country on his own to pursue his dream of martial arts and for a better life? I mean, you must have been in a place of desperation. It must have been so hard for you to do that. not because I don't think not anybody's got that strength. Because you've got what I would class as like an internal type of definitely strength. You're definitely a lot stronger than a lot of physical opposing people that I've met or come across. So could you just elaborate on that for me? Thank you, Richard.
First of all, I want to say thank you very much, Demzly, for what you've said. Yeah, what kind of a person does it take, though? I mean, yeah, literally, I came from England to China. I was going through absolute crap. Fear. It was just absolute fear, and it was desperation, as you say, bro. And this is so real. It goes beyond, far beyond, and this might sound so shallow to some people, but this is absolutely true. More true than they'll believe, because the truth sometimes people can't see. It goes far beyond, I want to say. Desperation, the truth of this matter goes far beyond people telling you, oh, you know what, it's your character, it's your personality, you need to be more confident in yourself, you need to stand up, blah, blah, blah. I've been listening to people saying that for years, but there's also people coming out of it hard done by too. There's stabbings, there's all kinds of stuff. Now the situations I was in, I feel so happy that I got away from all that and alive, literally, I really do. My goodness, I've been chased, I've had things happen to me, I've had fear, I've had absolute fear. I've had long journeys from work to home, you know, late of a night or whatever time, I'm just saying that. And I'd like get home to the blocks and to the estates or where I was living before. And it was like a mission, it was like a ninja stealth mission, I mean literally, it was like that. I had to sneak it, I had to pray in my mind, I'm saying, because I had to hope there was going to be no thugs in that lift or on the staircase or whatever, or some druggies or whatever, because it was that scary. It was really terrifying. I was absolutely, you know, my mum said one time, she said she was talking with one of the neighbours, and one of the neighbours in the block was like afraid to go to sleep overnight. She was a woman, you know, and she was afraid that, you know, because she saw feet walking by the window or something. I don't know what the window setup must have been. And there's like break-ins and stuff, you know what I mean? It's just terrifying. You hear stories of people breaking into people's houses and killing them or attacking. It's just terrifying. And I had to go to work, come home with that. You know, there's stories too I have to talk about, my mum and that, you know, and, you know, but I don't go into too much detail, but things, you know, nobody felt safe going out and about, that's what I'll say. The amount of vandalism you see around there and gangs of youths, it was just absolutely, I mean, I wasn't confident to stand up to that. It's like you might say I've always been like that, I've always been a quiet, slimming person, I don't look like a big tough guy, fair enough, I've always been like smaller, slimmer, I won't say thin, I don't say thin and weak, I say strong and slim. No, I'm just saying, you know, smaller build. And when I was in school, I was getting bullied, as I say, when I was in school. But it's like, I don't care if you're a kid in school or you're an adult in any situation with a group of adults, how do you beat all of them? It was literally that. It's like, you can't stand up sometimes and just literally, with your fists, take everybody out. And if you were going to do that, if you were going to put everybody in hospital or kill them or whatever, then you'd go to prison, wouldn't you, obviously? I'm saying anybody else, I'm saying. So it's like, obviously, you know, I was not going to stand up to a whole class about God knows 20, 30 people, am I? And that's literally what it was I had against me when I was in school. And then growing up secondary school and then college, and then people coming in saying they got guns and knives and all kinds of stuff going on, and then the rapes and the attacks sort of going on around. It was scary. It was a scary place to live too, you know. And I'm just saying, you know, it's not the roughest place. I mean, there's places in the world that are so much rougher than that. Okay, even places in America and stuff have real, like, a lot of gun crime and that, you know what I mean. And gangs, it weren't like that, but just I was just living in this, you know, this situation. So, like you said, like, I came to China to pursue my dreams and martial arts and all that. No, not at all. It was that. Fair enough, it was that, but it wasn't that as such. I'm going to go and follow my dreams and learn Kung Fu. And I wish it was. I didn't have the ability to be like that. My thing was, I've got to survive. I've got to survive. I've got to... How the hell can I take care of a family, a wife, let alone a kid? I haven't got any children now, but you know, how can I have my own place? I don't care if it's rented or bought. When I'm earning such little money, I was giving all of my money to my family as well, my mum and that. But people don't know about my situation, as I say. There's family, personal situations, as I say, different reasons, right? But there's a lot of darkness there as well, I'll say. That's all I want to say. People don't know, about the home. So I was not feeling at peace in myself, either outside the home or at home as such. I mean, home life wasn't so bad, like abused in such a way, you know, some people get physically abused or whatever, this or that. It wasn't that, but it was like, I was being taken advantage of, I felt, in some ways, and I didn't have, well, I'll put it this way, I didn't have I didn't have the circumstances to have my own life as such. The only way that I'd be able to ever move out and have my own life, you know, and move on in my life, let's face it, right? It doesn't mean leave my family behind, but it means like literally move on in my life, you know, and have a normal life. For me, seeing as every other aspect of my life got fucked up, excuse my language, because of the thugs and bullies and all my whole life, and for me seriously not being able to take them all on. Right, really. Otherwise, it'll be getting kicked out of school, put in hospital, or being killed, or put in prison, or something. Literally, if I had to fight against all them people, how the hell would come in the next day? There were stories of people getting stabbed. There were stories of gang beatings and stuff. I didn't want that to happen to me at all. So I've been like running away on the sidelines, like a pussy, like a wimp, you might say, you know. But it's like, it's, you know, being ninja stealth style, you know. But it's like, to get the main point done, which is survival, and, you know, and get on with my life. I might be able to get into a fight. I've had a fight when I was in school, but it's like, I might have had situations where I've had to defend myself. There might be a situation like that. Someone puts their hands on you have to defend yourself. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but even one time here in China, some guy tried to drag me away, put his hand on my arm. I've told you this story before. A couple of years back, someone was trying to pull me by his arm, by my arm. He was pulling me and saying, come with me, this guy. And I said, no, and he tried to do it again. He said, come with me, and I threw a couple of roundhouse kicks at his head, and he fucked off. Okay, so I'm not, all ego aside, he backed down, because I went into a stance. I just struck his hand up and threw a couple of roundhouse kicks up to his head from my right leg, and he just fucked off. And so it's like, you know, but it's like I'm not going to go into too much detail about that. But I'm saying that I used my thin stature, my body and my mind just to get this guy off of me, because I don't want someone hurting me. And that's what it's got to be like sometimes in life. If someone's going to put their hands on you, you have to get them off. You can't stand there and let someone beat blood out of your face. Right? You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're smaller build. If someone's got a knife or a gun, get away. But you have to get away. If you can't run and the guy's grabbing you, what are you going to do? You're going to let him drag you away? You might go around that corner and you might have a gang, or what, you don't know what he might do to you. So as I say, I had to defend myself, and the guy backed off, but it was alright, you know. But I'm going to say, you know, and I felt pretty proud of myself about that. I really do. It's like in the recent years to actually have done that, and I saw the guy back off, and it was, luckily it worked, you know. But it's like, I'm just saying, right? But this is what I was growing up with, and this is what happened to us, desperation, though, you know. But this is in China, this happened. I'm just trying to say, I come from England to China, you know, for a better life, and then later I started to pursue the job part, like finding a job. Well, it's more or less straight away, but it was like, you know, it fit to become a teacher, teaching English, the life, plus my wife and everything here, and then just getting used to the culture. But it's like, I feel more safer here in China, more or less for the most part. The crime level and everything is like lower. You know, at least I feel safer, I do, in this place, anyway, I'm saying, you know, and if I feel safer, I can earn enough money for survival. It fits for me. You might say it's a cheap, pussy way of living or whatever, you know, but I've got my peace and quiet, I've got the computer here, I've got the camera, I can talk to people and that. It's alright, you know. I'd rather this peace of mind, like my grandmother, my nan always used to say, I'd rather this now than be working hours on end in some fucking crap job, let's say back in London, in the city or whatever it might be. I don't care if it's really hard labour or if it's something in an office even or whatever, some good job. I don't care. It wouldn't fit me, I'm saying. Even if they put money in my pockets, even if I was earning more money. But then again, it's for survival. But I would say it's just the lifestyle, and it's it's enough money to survive. I don't need to be rich or something. But you know what I mean? Though? That's what it's about. And plus, I don't gamble, I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't this or that, I don't take drugs. I don't, you know what I mean? I don't owe anyone any money. I do what I do myself. I just live my own life and I be creative. If you've got money, you should use it productively. Anyway, that's what I would say. You know, if you've got time, use it productively. And you know what? Even if you're busy, even if you've got no time, do you know what that means? You have got time. Your life is your time. How are you using it? You can always make a change. I took one step, and now 10 years have passed, and this is the best 10 years of my life compared to where I was in England. But I've had a hard 10 years, it's nearly 10 years, right? I've had a hard, just over 7 years. I'll say the last 2 years have been really good, but before that, like 7 years were very hard. I don't know if you've ever been to prison before, but I mean, I've been a prisoner, captive, by an individual or whoever, but I've been through some stuff. I'll put it out. I'm not going to give any details out, but I've had a hard time. I've been literally not like a slave, but in some ways like a modern day slave. And I'm not talking about, oh, it was my girlfriend and that. I'm not saying that, because there's people out there who blame your lovers and stuff. If you blame, like, you know, they say in life you can only blame yourself. You make your choices. It's not other people control you. You can always change the situation. Yeah, but you have to find a way. You know what I mean? It's like you might want to leave the job you're in now, but then you might not find another job straight away. So it's always like hard. You know what I mean? But there is another way. The other way might be difficult. It might be another path. But it's like you have to take steps to do that, because is your life easy now? So I was looking at it like this. I'm literally at rock fucking ice cold bottom. That's where I was at. I was literally in tears. I literally felt sick. I was literally collapsing at work, literally almost. And I said, this is not the way forward. Just coming home to this, and then you don't know what my home situation was too. But it's private. But it was like, fuck this. I had to get out of that somewhere or another. Didn't know how I was going to do it, but it wasn't as easy as that. It comes from communicating with people. So, you know, I met someone, as I say, I won't go into detail, you know, and then the chance arose. I didn't have the money or anything as such at first, you know, but it was like, the chance arose to go for a trip to China. And I got the money for that, for the trip. I had a short trip, come to China for like 4 months, stayed for a bit, then went back to England, worked in some shit job, taking abuse from cunts again, big mistake to go back, stayed there for a year. Then all the year I just couldn't wait to get back, so I just come back here to China. This time I've stayed here all this time, and all my fucking nightmares are left behind. You can get yourself jacked off because I've got no time for it. So any negativity anywhere, even negativity in China, anywhere, if I see negativity, I don't see it. I just like totally avoid it. That's what I try and do. If I call me a pussy, but until, you know, someone puts their hands on you, you have to defend yourself. You know, if it doesn't touch you, it can't hurt you. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm about. Avoiding negativity before dealing with it. That's what it's basically about. So, not dealing with it, and then how can you deal with it and then avoid it? It's already, you can't avoid it if you're having to deal with it, can you? But you don't have to deal with it if you avoid it. That's what I'm like. That's what I'm living my life like. Thank you very much, Dems.
Now, Rich, obviously you teach English over there. Do you find it's a better way of life in terms of, like, are you accepted over there? Obviously you're looked on as a foreigner. There's many other English over there, okay? Where do you practice your martial arts over there? Now, ladies and gentlemen, Wushurichard used to get up at about 3 or 4 in the morning and practice for about, I don't know, three hours before going to college. Could you tell us about that, bro? How did you come about with that internal strength to actually push yourself to do that? Was it the Kung Fu films you watched? What is it about Kung Fu that inspires you? Why Kung Fu over a lot of other styles? What is it? Okay. Now,
okay, yeah, thank you very, very much, Demzly. That's true. So, yeah, okay, the basic thing then, yeah. So, yeah, I was, you know, feeling that way at first. When I first come to China, I was feeling like very uneasy, like, because I'm like, well, actually, I felt more that way later on. As I did in the beginning, I knew I was like a foreigner, but I didn't realise that I was like such a, what do you call it, a speciality as such. Here it's like, after some time, after a few years, I started to realise, well, people are looking at me, people are staring at me on the street, and they're starting to look at me like different, like I'm not a human being, or this and that. They start calling out, making fun. But then, the thing is, like, there's not so many foreigners. It depends on what part of China you go to. So it's like, I realise that this is something I have to live with. But for the most part, I am more accepted. It's not, I'm not accepted as such because they don't understand me. I'm just misunderstood. They don't know what to think of me, a lot of people here. Or the people that I've come into contact with, I'm saying, all around me. But like, every time I go out the door, I just feel like, you can feel that, I can feel that I'm being offended, I'm being discriminated against. And I even say that, like, it's discrimination. But that's my own feeling. I've always said, people shouldn't do that. If I feel offended or discriminated against, that's my own feeling. Even if people are doing it, that's not the point, but I don't need to feel this way, you see. But it's like, most people, though, for the most part, are polite, and they're very, very, very respectful to foreigners. I will say that. I just find them strange, because you see a foreigner here and that. But I've been living here a long time, I've been learning the language. Most Chinese I understand, okay, Mandarin Chinese, that is Mandarin. So if anyone wants to speak to me through videos or anything in Mandarin Chinese, or any Chinese people, you can feel free to do that, okay? But I can't read any Chinese, I need to learn more, right? But I'm just saying, so that's that part, I will say there, right? So, yeah, but, what was it though? I mean, what keeps me going? I mean, I've literally been alone, especially for a lot of those years I was literally alone. I'm not going to go into detail, but like, my life in China, I mean, it was like this, it was like, I came from England, from basically isolation in somewhere, like a reject of the city. Rejected on all levels, man. It was just pure loneliness. And then I came from not lonely, it was like pure fucking hell, man. Frozen hell. And then I just came from there to isolation. Okay? So I've just said ice, hell, and isolation. Basically, things like before, let's give you one example. When I was working back in England, I'll talk more about this in other videos if people like, but I was working in some rubbish jobs. One job I worked in was a supermarket. One of the supermarkets I worked in, and there was like the freezer rooms, the back rooms of the freezers, if you know anything about those freezer rooms where they keep things cold, the cold storage and that. Anyway, I remember working in there without gloves and stuff for like day in, day out on those IC floors, these metal rooms with all this steam coming from the IC machines and the freezers. And I was like arranging boxes and all kinds of stuff. I'd have a jacket on there, sometimes they wouldn't even give you one. I'd be like freezing cold. Very cold, bad for your health, absolutely. And then it was like, I'd be having abusive people coming in and chucking things and stuff, and abusive managers and bosses. I'd be getting paid very little money. I wouldn't get paid my overtime. I wouldn't be allowed to go for lunch. It was like pure abuse, And I weren't even allowed to have a lunch. They'd make you just work like an absolute slave. I was being slaved off in there. So these, and then some of the people I was working with were just arseholes as well. Excuse my language. They were just taking the piss, taking advantage of me, But it's like you might say other people take advantage of you. No, Richard, it's yourself taking advantage of yourself because you don't stand up. Yeah, but you have to look at the situation and how, because sometimes you word your mouth or use this or that, and then next thing you know, it's like you don't bite the hand that feeds you, you end up losing the job. You know what I mean? So it's like, and it's unjust. The society is corrupt. Human beings are. I wouldn't put anything past human beings, but all you can do is avoid negativity and look for positivity. The best you can, try and make changes. It's like some battles you can win with your mouth, with your mind. You can try to be clever with your language and things to communicate, but sometimes it doesn't work. If people just, in terms of power, and they know who's the top dog on this and that, there's nothing you can do unless you get into an absolute fight. And I've seen many a fight in jobs too. I've seen people getting into fights and stuff, a couple of managers and stuff, pressure cookers. I've worked in places. It's like, it's like you get into a fight, you end up losing your job or this or that, So it's like, what can you do? You have to face that crap every day. And I come from that back in England, and then coming to China I was living in the northeast of China, and this is the south where I'm at now. I'm living in the tropics now. So yeah, but it's like I was living in the northeast China for like 7 years, like near to Russia. And man, you know, it was freezing cold, the ice and snow. I mean, it's so cold in the winter time, and most of the year it's like ice, the rivers freeze, you can walk over them, it's just unbelievable. I had to wrap up so many layers, like it's unbelievable how much you had to wear, like Eskimo mode, it's freezing cold. And I was just like literally living in that situation, and I was like going to work, and but it wasn't like as easy as that. I mean, I'm doing the teaching, but there's a lot of hassle you don't know about, because didn't I mention about being captive, like a prisoner almost, for 7 years, and you don't know what that's about. But I've had to undergo a lot of shit. I've had to deal with a lot of crap. I've been like literally captive, basically. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but I've been through a lot of crap. Okay, and if you don't know what it's like to be a prisoner, I mean, of another human being, when it's very hard sometimes, right? So. But it was like, you know, it's like extortion in a way. There's a lot of things going on in my life. I can't go into too much detail, but it's like more or less like that. So basically, though, you know, in that kind of terms, that's what it basically is like. And it was hard for me, and I was waking up early, and because I'm a foreigner too, and because of my nature, you know, I didn't want to be going out early in the morning, and like, you know, in the mornings, like here in China, you find a lot of old people and people going out early in the mornings to do some exercise. Keep healthy and fit. Like, it's great, isn't it? Really an inspiration. It's good to anyone. Right? People should do it more in the West. But the problem is, I'm a foreigner. And when I'm going outside and doing my martial arts training and all that, you know, because I'd go outside to find the space. I mean, I was learning with my teacher outside for a while, and I was okay with that because I was learning with him. But like, later on, I was training by myself, and I weren't training with him, and I was training everything I knew. I mean, even when I was like training with him, but like, sometimes I'll be like training by myself, because I have to train every morning, you know, train my martial arts, like, dedicate myself. I used to train in the freezing cold snow with this fucking training sword, excuse my language, snow up to my knees. I was freezing, holes in my gloves, but I was freezing, my hood up, ears freezing still, with earmuffs on inside, everything. And it was like in this dark, like estate, like area, this like this flat housing estate thing. And I was outside in the park areas where you get those bars and stuff, you know. And it was like I would wake up pitch black before everybody else wakes up, so to do my training, because I didn't want to go out there and let people come out and say, oh look, there's a foreigner, and they'll come over talking to me. I'm not saying they were nasty, some of those people were really friendly maybe, but they'll come up to me talking to me because I'm a foreigner. What are you doing? I come through, let me show you. And I'm not saying really, I'm just saying people wanting to make fun, or you know, or just distract me. I wanted to focus on my martial art, because I was not living in a dream. Oh, kung fu and all this. I'm focusing my energy and training, just taking me in through my life. But that took me through to where I am today. Even all the martial arts is a journey for life. And I was sweating. I was literally sweating inside my clothes, you know, and it was freezing. My sweat was turning into ice. My hair was dripping with sweat, soaking with sweat. My hair with sweat, and it was dripping with ice. It was snapping off, literally. Ice down my back, and I was sweating inside. It was really hot, but it was freezing cold. If I had to take my gloves off, even with my glove on, I could still not move my hand. It was like frozen almost, my hand. It's the northeast of China. It's so cold, and I would wake up at 3:10 or 3:20 in the morning, early in the morning, pitch black before 4 o'clock, and go out and train for a few hours to get enough time, right? Not 10 minutes, get an hour or 2 to 3 hours before the other people would wake up, like 5 or 6 o'clock, you know, when people are getting up to go outside to do their morning exercise. They're waking up to go early to train, to do exercise, but I'm going out early to do serious kung fu fucking training by myself, because there's nobody going to help me. I'm not in a temple, I'm far away from the Shaolin temple, I'm not in a school, so I'm going to train hard. Oh, I might not have the best teachers, I might be here now, I might be under difficult situations at home, which you don't know about, as such, I've just said, but I'm going to work, the money's going elsewhere, it's not going in my pocket. I had nothing. Even living here in China, all I had was a roof over my house, over my head, basically captive. I don't want to mention the words extortion, that's basically what it was like. I was living under that lock and key from someone. I had to report what time I'd be coming home, leaving, and I was literally captive under someone. All the money was going to that person, and all my money's gone away. Don't know where it's gone. So everything I've earned, all I had was food on the table and a roof over my head and a bed. So living in China, and I looked at and I summed the two up and I thought, well, okay then, it's better than going back to England, it's better than the shit situation in England, it's better than not being able to have that, or living in the situation I was at before. So, okay, at least I can do what I want to do. I can make videos. I had a computer as well. It was good, you know. It wasn't mine, but I used it, you know. And it was like, okay, and I can do that and I can focus on my martial arts. So that's why I was going outside and teaching groups of students in the free time. I wanted to create this little world for myself, make videos, teach people martial arts, train martial arts, to forget about what's going on at home. And then England's long gone, it was long gone, but I was thinking about all that, you know, and it was like, all the money was going to someone else's pockets. I didn't have anything. All I had was a key, a mobile phone. I had to be back at certain times. I had to report every single thing, and I was under real pressure. So over for 7 years here in China, the last couple of years I've been free, as I say. I feel like I've just walked out of prison, and I've had no real friends as such made like here in China as such, only one or two from students and stuff. But they live different lifestyles anyway. Most people who socialise and then they go out drinking and all this anyway, which I'm not into. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do all that. I like to live a productive, a peaceful, quiet life anyway. So for me, I'm very content just creating, doing drawing, doing artwork and all of that, you know, and cartoons, martial arts, and making stuff, writing stories and stuff, online posting videos. I love all that. Having a talk with people, if they're close, like people I might meet, like friends who are like-minded, or people who like the similar things to me, or like martial arts. I can teach some martial arts, my little bit. But that's basically what it's been. So that's what it's taken. It's taken that kind of a person to actually, you know, leave where I was at, you know, and then come in and then deal with all this. It's like the martial arts has kept me on the right path. It's kept me focused. It's the inner mind power. My teacher said the mind is a powerful weapon. One of my teachers used to always say, and it really, really is. If it doesn't touch you, it can't hurt you. Things like this, something, you know. So don't let pressure into your heart. It's been really hard, but I've had to focus, and I've had to go through so much in my life. People telling me I'm no good, this or that. People literally not letting me grow up, not letting me have a home unless I'm giving them, you know, them all I have. I'm not allowed to go and further my education. I'm not allowed to go to work. I'm not allowed to this or that. So I've been lucky that I've had the choice as such to get out. It hasn't been like so bad like some people where they've actually literally been locked in a room like an actual prisoner. It's a miracle that I'm out today, I'll say that, but it's like some people are being locked in rooms literally and being beaten, tortured and all that, so I sympathise. I really feel sorry for those people. They need to get out of that situation. But when there's a will, there's a way. I got myself out of there, and I've been talking with videos all these years. I've talking to you, my bro Demzly, and then sharing stuff online with people, wherever I can. But people will never know. They just see me on the video talking about kung fu and all this, and it's all fun. But I do all this stuff. I do the raps, I do the cartoons, I do my drawing, I do all this, my videos, to be creative, to create my own little world, teaching martial arts people, just to help me feel better in myself. And that's the biggest punch back, that's the biggest strike back to, rather than getting into a fight with any enemy. It's like, okay, fuck that negativity, that's the power, I'm here surviving today, and my life is a impact. It's like something in this world, like it existed, I was here and I made the most of my life, and I'm doing it now before I'm old. And that's basically what it is, and I'm going to keep doing it. So even when I work or all this or all that, I say sum up what I've got, sum up the past, I've got to try to do more today, take steps, you know, and that's basically what it is, bro. So looking back, you know, looking back over my shoulder, I can see I never wanted the fuck motherfuckers. So basically that's basically what it is, alright. So thank you for that question, bro. And it takes enormous willpower, but it takes a simple decision. It's a simple action, and a simple decision, and an almost instant action. Simple decision, almost instant action, to get yourself instant coffee. You know, and to get yourself out of the situation and get yourself into a better situation. But the best advice I can give anybody is 2 bits of advice. I never usually do this, but 2 bits of advice. All right. 1, stay wise in yourself. and this will affect the second one I'm going to tell you now. The second one is communicate with people, talk to people. You might be in a bookshop or something, talk to someone. I don't care if you're looking for a girlfriend in someone, or you're not looking for a girlfriend, sorry, I mean, you just get talking to someone and you see that person as the person for you. It doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't matter if down the line someone shits on you. It could be your friend, your family, whoever, but somewhere along the line, use everything as a stepping stone. Because even if you don't mean to, it will be. It will be a springboard to somewhere else. You look for it, you step on a stepping stone, it will springboard you a mile away. You take one step, you step into a taxi, the taxi takes you away. But it's like you're sitting on a train and you realise the train's going the wrong way. Well, you can get off. Don't stay on there and go back the other way. I'm trying to say, but it's like, stay wise when you're listening, when you're talking to someone. Don't go following someone, but you can't just sit in one situation if you're not happy with it. You've got to look for what makes you happy, and you understand yourself, and you'll always be you. And at the end of the day, if you're not harming anybody else, nobody has the right to tell you you're no good, or put you down, this or that, control you. And don't let anything. I've learned the beauty and the value of life by learning what nothing is. I've been robbed of a childhood. I've been robbed of a better education. I've been robbed of. I didn't have any friends when I was younger in school. I was robbed of that. I was robbed of. Everywhere I've been been robbed in every fucking way. I've been robbed, I guess. I've been my integrity. I've been rejected as a human being. I've not been a human being in society, and I've had people around me, more nice and more nasty, all of them, telling me, "Be more confident, Richard. Be more confident. You need to be more confident in yourself. You know." And like they're telling me, like, because they see it like I'm a weakling, but I can see myself like. It doesn't bother me. I'm not saying I want to be in their world. I don't like their world. I look at their world. People with all these things I see is so shallow the way they're living, and I'm so happy I don't live like that. I'm not complaining about it. What I'm trying to say is you learn that it's not that you have nothing. You've got to learn what you really want. And you say, well, I don't have that. I can strive for that. You know what I mean? And say, right now I've got peace of mind. When you've got peace of mind, clarity, empty your mind of pressure, and think about what you want, and you can think about that, and you can do something with that. And then take steps, because there's other people going through their lives out and about every day, and you know, years are passing, but what are you doing with your life? So that's what I've learned about it. And there's always a way. There will be a light at the end of the tunnel, they say. There will be a way out. And there will be things you can do along the way to speed up the process to a better outcome. But it's just like, it's the art of seeing, and we see differently in different stages of our lives. It's part of growing up. I think that's another thing, and I've been through a lot. But what can you do? Whatever you do with now, you've got to learn to control yourself. Martial arts has taught me this: self-control, and always look to positivity. I'll say that. Okay, thank you.
How do you view today's modern societies in the fact that I know we've got the MMA and the UFC, and you know it's all very good and that, but you have been openly, you've expressed your distaste and hate. Now my eyes are going over there because this camera's like on the side, so it ain't like I'm spaced looking at the zombies. Oh God, look at them coming in. If they're coming out, you see what happens. Should we see what happens if they come in here, the zombies? Because I can see the zombie. I'll spray your face off. Right? Yeah, so basically, yeah, what the question that I just asked, because I've just forgot what I asked. Popping bubbles on the fucking camera. Right, so why come UFC, like, you express your distaste for the UFC, what is it about the UFC that you do not like? What is it that has actually turned you off? How do you view martial arts in today's society as such, okay? How do you view it? Is it damaging to martial arts? What makes a good martial artist? What makes a bad martial artist, okay? What would you say is a good teacher? What makes a bad teacher? How long have you actually been teaching martial arts, okay? Now, I understand you did teach, you was taught under Shaolin 5 Animals Kung Fu, okay? Was it the same Sifu who, I believe you told me once, run Shaolin Way? Because I did want to learn more about that. So tell us more about your instructors you had. You had an instructor called Fred Olsen in the kickboxing, I remember rightly. Can you tell us about him? Just basically just go into depth about everything you share, otherwise I'll blow your face off with this. No, I need to joke about it. So, how do you view society today? Is it like, the internet, is the internet doing a good thing for you? Have you met many friends across the internet? Okay. What gets you up in the morning, bro? Who inspires you as a human being? Who inspires you as a human being? Okay. Do you have bad days? And if you have bad days, how do you deal with that? How can the martial arts help somebody become a better person? Okay. Is there bad people in martial arts who it hasn't helped? Can you give any examples? Okay. Do you have any books, DVDs? What are your favourite films? What really inspires you as a person? Okay. What are your interests and beliefs? Have you trained any weapons? Okay. Have you trained any, I don't know, weapons, a kabudo? Have you trained any staff swords, nunchuckers? Interests and beliefs. Have you trained any weapons? Okay. Have you trained any, I don't know, weapons, a kabudo? Have you trained any staff swords, nunchuckers, or anything like that? Could you please explain to us your weapons background? Okay.
Okay, Demzly, don't worry, I get like that sometimes too. I also forget what I was talking about. Anyway, answering the question then, basically, yeah, it's true. I've always been inspired by traditional kung fu and even movies and things like that. Movies have inspired me to want to know more about kung fu and traditional martial arts. But what do I like why do I like these arts then? You know, why do I like traditional martial arts and kung fu more than MMA? I don't like to say that I state my distaste towards them and like that. MMA and UFC, but it's just I just feel that it's a lot more shallow in terms of the fact that it's like competition fighting. If you go into, and the same for any traditional martial art too, if they're doing competition fighting, I don't agree with that either as such, because competition is a weakness. It shows that you don't feel you don't value yourself. You value yourself by how others value you. And that's absolute pussiness in my absolutely. Right? I'm just saying. It's just like I could say those words and a group of MMA guys come in this room and beat the shit out of me. Oh, let me see your kung fu now, yeah? You call me a pussy. Yeah, you call me a pussy. Use your mouth muscles to say something. And they just kill me, for example, you know, right? And they'll be like, would that help them? Would that make them a hero for beating a nobody? You know, no. But all that actually ego versus ego. So you get two big guys in the ring, massive guys, build themselves up. They've got really good physique or whatever, and they're just doing that for a gold belt, a piece of material, a piece of fucking, I don't care, it's cut off of horse skin or whatever the fuck you call it. And it's just a pig's hind or whatever the fuck. And they hold this belt. The gold belt, the champion, it stands for I'm better than every human being on the planet, or the fighter. Oh, I don't know. I'm the big thing now on TV, and everybody must know me. I want everybody to say I'm the champion. Am I the champion? Yeah, I am. I'm great. He's like, what the fuck? If all those people disappeared now, who would you be? You know what I mean? And also, as I've said before, and I've explained this a million times, traditional kung fu talks about martial arts, talks about focusing on yourself with nothing in your life, is what I say, and saying like a monk almost, like you're absolutely nothing. How can I be content? Can I be safe? Can I be healthy and happy? Can I use that to enrich my life and get more, regardless of other people's thoughts towards me? And also not needing to take people down all the time and bring people down. You're trying to help people. But in fighting, you know, there's different ways of fighting. So in the training and the exertion of energy, I see so much wasted muscle mass, and in the MMA, UFC, and it might say it's good physique, but it's different, and there's technique I know too, but like a lot of the times it's like so much excess muscle mass and exertion of energy and force. They're using so much, and they're always covered in sweat or got some kind of scratches, bruises or blood on their body, but they're always like, most of the time, it's not that easy, is it? It's always a struggle. Well, of course, when you got two champions up against each other, yeah, a selfie stick, oh yeah, I'll take it. That's today's society summed up, competition and a selfie stick. I'm fucking telling you, no offence, right, if you shake one of them every day. I'm just saying, right, if you was holding your selfie stick Oh shit, where's the camera? And you realise you just dropped the camera into the river off the side of the boat. Then that's it, man. Your face, your image goes deep. How deep does your image go? Man, stop this dick. Or gold belt champion, I'm #1. MMA, UFC. I'm just saying, man. Shallow cultures we live in, I tell you that. It's just unbelievable. So that's what I don't like about it. That's what it's not that I'm putting the, it's like they feel content, the people that do this, they feel happy. Good luck to them, well done, great. Has it got art and skill in it, do I see, that I like? From my own point of view, yeah. There's an art to everything. Do these people have determination and diligence and all that? Yes, they do. They're very hard, very driven athletes, very strong. Well, so what the fuck am I talking about? I should shut up, right? Yeah. But, from my point of view, my ignorant, my crappy point of view, yeah, that's what it is, where I am. Is just wasted exertion and wasted energy, mind power, physical power, time in the gym, all of it is just wasted for ego, for nothing. For nothing. For nothing. If your life depends on if other people say you're the champion, or you're great, or you're not bad, or you're half decent, then my goodness, you just rob yourself. Aren't you worth more than that? Someone's opinion? Fuck that. Are you worth more than literally using your body to bring someone to the ground when you could have been carrying your baby, carrying some food, going shopping? Kung Fu teaches you to walk straight, avoid the attack, defend, block, different attacks, strikes, defense techniques, so the person flops, or avoiding abilities basically, so the bigger, stronger opponent with a big mouth or a big, strong body, someone just flops. Wherever they try to grab you, they can't grab you. You're like water, like Bruce Lee said. They try to push you, pull you, they can't. They end up falling over, or getting struck, or they hurt themselves, and you're just able to stand there, you're not moved. Or you're able to move forward, stand down the street, going shopping, carry on with your life. Martial arts teaches you to stand up anywhere in life. You might be in normal clothes, not a traditional gi or something, but it teaches you, traditional martial art teaches you to focus on your life more, to focus on your life more. Focus on your life, on reality, and not fighting with other human beings, or wasting your energy, exerting your energy. You do what you want to do. For example, you're really hungry, and you have to carry a lot of food very far before nightfall when the wolves come out in the forest. So you have to carry this heavy stuff home. So you might have to use that physical power. So doing some training for your strength might work. Or if there's a tree blocking the road where you need to get past off the mountain trail on your bike or your car, and you have to lift up that tree physically to move it, or someone's crushed underneath a car, or an accident, or someone you love, and you have to lift that, yeah, you have to exert your energy, fair enough, or you have to run very fast, or this or that. Use your energy. Martial arts teaches you fitness, breathing, physical strength, speed, and all that. But it doesn't mean necessarily MMA is the way to go, and blah blah blah. And then the fighting part as well, like exerting your energy is to literally bring someone down. Take them to the ground and lay down on your back and do this and that. I would rather stand up and let the guy fall down himself, or run into my fist, or block and let the guy fall away. I'd rather do that. I'd rather just take him out of a quick strike and then continue on, rather than okay, lay down on the ground. You might be in a suit, you might have just got married, got in a wedding or come back from a funeral, and then you're in your clothes. You're going to work or something, office clothes, and you're going to lay on the ground because it's your jiu-jitsu and all this. Oh yeah, it works. You ain't seen the police are using it now. Everybody's using jiu-jitsu. What the fuck, Those techniques are useful. Ground fighting's there if you fall on the ground. But you're not supposed to go down on the ground. It's exertion of energy and a waste of your whole body. The best martial artist will be able to win with his mind. And the best martial artist will not even need to use his mind. It's become so natural, and he always avoids negativity. It's like he turns around without even looking before the car nearly ran him over. And you say, wow, that was coincidence. No, it weren't, because he was so aware everything was just like happening for him. Because Because now he doesn't even need to use his mind as much. It's like when you study in school, you learn when you study, like you study hard when you're younger, you study your experiences more, and then you don't need to study so hard later on. You know it, and the knowledge is there. But people that do MMA, they just know that, and they just don't understand that the martial art, the traditional martial arts, I'm saying, this is what it is. It teaches you for life, not just for the cage, for the competition. And there's people out there who do the same thing, MMA, and they've got benefit from it. Well done to them if they've done. Really, well done, absolutely good. But there's other people, I'm saying, right, who do MMA, who are like going to turn around probably and say things like, well, no, you know, it's not just for the ring matches, and I do it for myself, and I love the sport and I love the training. Fair enough, good for you. Well done to you. I've got nothing against you. And you might say, well, I enjoy getting punched in the face. I enjoy getting myself busted the fuck up. I enjoy the adrenaline rush. And there's nothing better than taking somebody down the ground. I feel I'm the man, and it makes me happy. Before I started MMA, I wanted to commit suicide, and I was on drugs, and I've been in and out of institutions. I've been in and out of fucking, what do you call it? Fucking, you know what I mean? Juvenile. Then whatever. If it's helped you, like anything, like some people do religion, I do martial art. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, good. Whatever keeps you on the right path. But I'm just saying, it's not for me. But what I'm trying to say is, for these people to care what other people think of them, that's the thing I don't like. So it's not MMA. No, we're talking about this attitude that comes with MMA, or what the attitude. If they're just doing MMA and they just go to a park, would you do MMA? Would you do MMA if it was like just by yourself? If you had no partner even to train with, would you do MMA? Would you just get some bag or some pad and start training, punching it on the ground, or start training, the physical training? If you do that, well done to you. If you go to a forest or a park or somewhere at home and just enjoy it, because that, you know what I mean, you're training with somebody carefully. But if you've got the wrong idea though, because the problem is martial arts, all kinds of fighting arts, they can discipline us in the wrong way. You can learn to become aggressive like a fighter and so that. In traditional martial arts, it teaches you that. It teaches you to control, and it teaches you also in the philosophy, don't let it take you the wrong way. Make sure you always stay on the right path and stay focused. You know, don't get the wrong way. And it teaches you. But it's like, MMA, they're just learning fighting. You got to admit, right? You got to admit that the MMA is mostly geared towards combat fighting. Traditional martial arts is also. I'm just saying. I mean, getting into fights. They focus on getting into fights, literally getting into the ring sport of it all, and in that, you know what I mean? And then also people use it, fair enough, like police and law enforcement. I'm just trying to say, it's all about MMA, it's about fighting. They don't believe in all these katas and traditional forms and kung fu and karate. They think it's all around pussy stuff. Not everybody, but I'm saying a lot of MMA people do. Not everyone, but a lot of them think that it's just pathetic stuff. And I'm not going to go into detail about how some of the stuff can be used. It's not all fake, and some of it is. But some of it is just for training, but some of it can be used. I'm not going to go into detail, but some of these people, they believe that it's a waste of time. Mike Tyson used to shadow box. Well done to him. And Floyd Mayweather helped him a lot for his physical training. It's like geared towards the fighting. Fair enough. But you're sort of trying to say that it's like there's not enough in here for like focus. Traditional martial arts teaches you like this. I'll give you a basic example rather than keep comparing the two, because you're never going to understand the people who do it. The people don't understand. It's like this. No, you're never going to understand. You could just skinny you are, man. Take it to the octagon. I'll show you how fucking good your kung fu is. Oh my God, you're living back in the daydream. I know what people say. I'm going to say what I'm saying. I'll get onto the point, right? Yeah, what's your fucking point? Hurry up. I know. I can hear everybody's mind before they say it. I'm so used to it daily. It's this culture. It's not MMA, it's the culture. It's people's mindset in this day and age. But I'm going back to the basic thing rather than comparing. Traditional martial arts. True traditional, not the stuff they're putting out today, a lot of this shit. But traditional martial arts, right, is about health and fitness on body and mind. Health and fitness and self-defense. MMA is about health and fitness and fighting. I'll say that. Now you can defend yourself in a very combative way and fight off your attackers with kung fu. Absolutely. But you're not going to waste a lot of energy either, and you'll do a better job. in my opinion, absolutely. My experience watching it, but I'm just saying, that's true. But you're not looking for fights, and you don't care about what other people think. The difference is MMA glorifies violence, and UFC glorifies violence and fighting. Absolutely, they do what they want to do, so fair enough. And they're not saying do it on the street, and they're saying fair enough. It's got rules, and they're in the ring. That's all the good points. Fair enough. But it's glorifying violence without any philosophy motive behind it. There's no other training where they're teaching. A lot of times they're not everyone, but there's a lot of times where they're not doing enough to promote any other better thing in life, are they? To young people. Do you think every young person is going to understand, going to want to do MMA, but not go in the ring or not get into fights as such? They're going to still like fighting. Kung Fu people do. I love the fighting moves, fair enough, but it's I'm just saying, I understand more because of traditional Kung Fu helped me in martial arts in my life. But it's it depends on your personality anyway and who you are and that, but I'm just saying, with MMA though, most of the time, it's definitely geared towards the combat, that's it, make yourself stronger and learn this fighting art, and you want to be known as an MMA fighter, some kind of sport, some kind of thing, competition, glorified competition, ego, things like gold belts. Think about that gold belt, for fuck's sake, man, it's only a piece of material. For real. It can be the bronze cup, it could be anything they give you. You're fucking toilet roll, it could be a key, whatever kind of thing they want to give you. The gold means you're the best, it means you're the champion. And you'll take that and you'll hang up in your room and everybody in the world knows at one time I was the champion, and I made it. Nowadays it's somebody else. It's like, oh, you're still alive, aren't you dead yet or what? You're going to go through your life, you're growing older. What's the meaning of your life beyond belts, beyond people telling you you're either good or bad? Or this or that. At what you do, when you know the amount of sweat you pour in that gym. Martial art teaches you to avoid getting hit as well. Martial art teaches you, I know you probably do too, but I understand, MMA and that. I'm saying martial arts teaches you to avoid confrontation the best you can. What to do when you should come against confrontation. But it tells you also to avoid it for the most part, and avoid negativity, and don't let foolish, shallow thoughts into your mind. That's the best way to avoid confrontation, because people that go into this stuff in competition, sometimes it can eat away at them. These people become famous later on, it can start eating away at them, and they start breaking down later on the things they didn't see coming to them. There's so much when you become famous, God, the pressure, and all. They don't realise it all comes from yourself. Give two people $1 million, billion, zillion, trillion dollars, and how are these two people going to use it? They might use it totally different. One person's living a nightmare, so is the other. Or one person's living a nightmare, and one's living a dream. But that's just how you use it, how you live your life. The same way I used a little bit of money to pay for a ticket to come to China, and I chose to stay here and look for a job, and now I'm living this little, you must have puny life, living in a little house like this. But I'm living a much more healthy, happy life. It's more clear, more pure to the true martial way. And life's always going to be hard, there's always challenges. There's a storm going on outside, but you've got to learn to, like the turtle in the shell, Ninja Turtle, tortoise in the shell, you need to learn to make your den as such, make your, not dirty den, and make your own tranquil, what do you call it, sanctuary, your own little temple, your home, find a way to separate yourself from all that crap that's going on, and don't let yourself be fooled into bullshit. Martial art teaches you to realise reality. You can train to be the most awesome, unbelievable fighter. True traditional martial arts in the ancient days were teaching you how to kill even. Not to kill, but actually how to strike someone dead with one strike, how to finish or how to avoid getting hit ever. Not only take the hit, but how to avoid it. And you say that's all done in MMA and UFC, but look how big they make themselves, because it's so necessary. Because a skinny guy like me can't go in the ring with those MMA rules and beat an MMA guy, right? Well, of course not, it's MMA, yeah, if I understand. Yeah, but I'm just saying, right? You know what I'm trying to say? They're doing a sport, it's like rugby, it's like anything, rugby. If you say MMA philosophy in real life, in the philosophy of MMA in real life, I believe it's got no use in real life at all. The strong-minded willpower of an athlete of any kind can, or a fighter, but MMA, for what it is, and the ego that's behind it, you can't really separate it, can you? Can you? If you can, well done. But it's like, so is anything impossible? Kung Fu teaches you that. But like, if you can take that into life, it's not really going to help you much. Like, true Kung Fu, there's so much more. There's like a pot of gold, massive pot of gold. True Kung Fu and traditional martial arts, you can take so much from that, and it will help you in your life. That's all I'm saying. Enough said, because people that hear me saying that, they won't understand, because you just stay in that one world. About the MMA, again, and UFC, and this kind of competition sport fighting. I should say competition in general, that's what I should say. Because it kind of offends people when I say MMA or UFC. I could say football, I could say anything, and then it would offend the football people. You see what I'm saying? It's not that someone offends you; it's that you feel offended. It's like one of my favorite quotes ever, or like by Eminem, okay, the rapper, in one of his songs, when he says, he says, "You find me offensive, I find you offensive for finding me offensive." He says, "Is that true?" He's like, it's not that someone's offending you; it's that you're being a pussy, that you're offended by someone from what they've said. Like, what did you say about me? So, you're stupid, you're ugly. What did you say about me? Fuck you! What's that in slow motion, bitch? I'm just saying, right? Literally though, real. Right? It's like, why should you worry about that? Sticks and stones will break my bones, but names never hurt me. That's cowardice. You care about someone, what they say about you, they don't know you at all. So it's like you can't control your feelings and emotions if you're offended by something. It's not that they're offending you, fuck them, you understand yourself, right? So going back to what I was saying, so the MMA though, like you say, MMA, this kind of competition though, I'm saying like combative violence, especially, I'm against violence, but combat especially, but then competition, we're saying, competition, this kind of thing, breeds egos. It is damaging to society. It's damaging to young people are the next generation for society, So, if the young people learn from the older people, it's as simple as that. If we're not teaching these young people, if the media, because they're all into the media now, it's all like, computers, phones, technology and all that is better and better, I know, awesome. But that's what all the young people's lives revolve around this day and age. And there's a lot of violence and young people anyway, just out of their mind, like brain dead zombies. Young people in general, you see like the older generations seem to be, I always find older generations seem to be more clear, and like the older generations before, our older generations, our fathers and fathers, they were, fathers and grandfathers, they were coming from times where people were more pure, people were more decent, I'd say, back then. It was less to distract, but it's like, nowadays they've just got this technology, and the young people can't understand, they can't differentiate right from wrong exactly sometimes. They just follow what's everyone on the TV, Kim Kardashian, fucking Clinton's emails, and fucking, excuse my language, It's like me swearing now. I should be more mature and more, it's my duty, I shouldn't be, it's like, people learn by what they want. You can learn and choose to do either right or wrong. It's like when I'm swearing like this, I'm saying that I'm just expressing my feeling, but it's not good to swear at people. People this day and age, the young people, they don't even know how to speak to people. Like, fuck you dad, fuck you mum, they can't understand how to speak. There's people going around beating old people up and stuff. people going around, not everyone is influenced by computer games, but some people, I love computer games. I don't like it when people put down computer games, okay, when they say, but I'm saying there are people, there's a lot of shootings going on, like in America you see as well, for example, I'm saying, okay, and, some people can't separate, distinguish between the computer game worlds and this. They go around with guns and stuff, and they just see life in a very shallow way. And they're like, I'm going to kill you, and they'll probably go ahead and kill you, really. But it's like they didn't really think about a life. They're not in tune with it. I grew up on things like Sesame Street, TV shows and films and TV shows which like really, emotional. I've got a lot of respect for like Disney and stuff, you know, Disney, because they speak about a lot of truth. They show the emotions of a human being, you know, they're very creative. But I'm saying, you know, young people this day and age, they don't understand that. And they go out drinking, clubbing and all this, and they're going out and getting intoxicated and taking drugs, and there's people committing suicide and all this stuff. You see cyberbullying and people getting... And it's just one thing to the next, but it's like, what did so-and-so say about you on Facebook or on your phone, or this some shit? And they care about this. Some are on Twitter or that, you know. And it's like unbelievable. They can't see through this fakeness. It's not true. It's just an overall bullshit. It's not. It doesn't exist. All that exists is the illusion that they're creating for themselves in their head, and their ego is being enforced by the fact that they see other people around them, which is like the true society around them. Fair enough. They're studying from the society. They're learning from what's around them. They see other people in this like ego state where they're all out of their mind, and they see that as this is the reality, and they need to know. And that's what they learn. So they become the same way. So it's very hard to be different in the society and be like truly individual, true in yourself. That's why I'm a massive fan of Jock Fresco of the Venus Project. One of the most wisest men I've ever known. He's 98, I think, years old. He's a very old man anyway. And he says that. He said nobody understands anyone really, and everybody's speaking the same language really. So if you were to try to be different and be the individual you are, then you would have trouble in the society. Things wouldn't work out because it's not part of the system. So this is the thing. So you become like this matrix kind of a thing. You become like jacked into the motherfucking system. So what I'm trying to say is, you know, these people today, in today's modern society, the young generations and that, they're more simple-minded. Everything's working for them. It's just click this, click that on technology, and people walking into roads, getting run over, falling into water fountains. I've seen it happen on videos and stuff. We're looking into their mobile phones and all this, selfie stick and all this shit, you know. Oh, you know, what's that on the TV? Oh, Miley Cyrus has stripped naked again. You know, Justin Bieber, whatever the fuck, you know, is posing for a magazine. What the fuck? That's got nothing to do with reality. The trees growing from the earth, the sea, the stones, the gravel, the fucking cells of the earth, the atoms that you're made up of, in the cells in your body, hair and blood, the one day you're going to be dead. It's got nothing to do with that. Has that got anything to do with your yesterday? What's in the news today? No, and it's gone. What was you doing looking at that yesterday as well? You know what I mean, people? Do you real sometimes? Come on, you know? So they're living in this bubble gum, chew it up, spit you out, you know. They're living in this crappy society where that's all there is, and pressure cooker, ego brews pressure cooker, you know, and violence and all the rest of it, and what's okay one minute is not okay the next, and people are voicing their opinions over this or that, and what's discrimination, what is it, and then they're making laws for this, they're dropping laws for that, and it's just an absolute fucking mess, society in general, civilized people. I can't believe people are still alive in this day and age. It's not that I don't have faith in human beings, it's that it's just unbelievable how people can't be more productive, especially with the knowledge we get learning out from generation after generation with the science and technology and all the epic stuff we have now, the good stuff. But they just can't understand, they don't value their lives enough. And things like competition, that's like MMA and things like that, what's on the TV being shown, it doesn't help. I'm not taking a shot at MMA, I get myself bust out, I punch a wall and break your hand. But it's like with time you can break the wall down. But it's like, you know, it's like they're giving you 5-minute culture, 1 minute this, 1 minute that. Remember when it was like stars and stuff, like Michael Jackson and people that used to be around, you remember these people, but most of those people that's in the music today in the industry, they're gone here today, gone tomorrow, you know, it's 5 minutes this, 5 minutes that, it's just, oh my God, you know, it's like, I can't believe it, you know, it's just unbelievable. So, the youths are being damaged. Society damages you. The government, people, whoever, you know, they sell what you buy. Remember that, they only sell what you buy. So you buy into it, you know, fuck your well-being. Your kids buy it, so they're going to sell it to your kids, they're going to sell it to you, they're going to sell it to your kids. You're buying it for your kids are buying it, you're all buying it. Fuck you, at the end of the day, they're buying it, it's working. If they ain't getting money, they better start getting some more laws in and controlling your education system and everything else, and putting more taxes on this or that, so to get everybody in order. And there's a lot of stuff. I believe so much in society is absolutely manufactured. Absolutely made up. Your way of thinking, a lot of people's ways of thinking is totally manufactured. I'll go up into videos and talk in detail about what I'm talking about on that, and point it out and like edit the videos up and show you what I'm talking about. But it's like, really, people's perception of right, wrong, what's okay, what is, what was, history, present, future, this, that, what so-and-so's saying today, what's in the trend, blah, blah, blah. It's all manufactured, controlled by an outside force, and you're just like guinea pigs, and it's all being manufactured, and people cannot see the truth. And the youths are the next generation after generation, are the next victims in line, and somewhere along the line you're going to end up with we're getting so more advanced in our technology now, fair enough, but somewhere along the line you're going to have more riots, more wars, and it's just cycling on, and you're going to end up with destruction. And at the end of the day, if society or as a civilization in general doesn't collapse, then I don't know what to say. Because the person, whoever's in office, whoever's the president or whoever, is also a human being. You have to remember that, a human being. He goes to the toilet, he thinks about all the things he does, and when he goes to the toilet, he's like pushing that shit out. Pushing that shit out. You know, so when he smells the food, he knows it's ready, you know what I'm saying? He's going to eat it. He sweats just like you, he gets his hair cut, has a shave like you. You know, you know, people making love like you, maybe, I don't know what level they're on, but I'm just saying. So, we're all human. But it scares me. Society scares me. Human beings scare me in general. If suddenly we're going to, you know, The Purge. Have you seen the movie The Purge or The Purge 2? Anarchy. If they were going to suddenly do that, or if there was like, if suddenly the law was stopped, there's no law, there's no police for a day, everybody would go outside stealing and robbing and all that, probably, right? That hurts me to think. Even normal people, nice people, maybe after some time, they would start to do that as well. Because they think it's okay and it's accepted. If it's accepted by others, it's accepted by you. Self-harm, harming humanity, harming nature, harming yourself is never okay. Damage is damage. Productiveness is productive. Fuck, motherfucker. You know what I mean? That's basically it. So if you're doing something that's harmful, it's not about people, yeah, man, they're going to legalize marijuana. Well, what the fuck are you talking about, people? Drugs, smoking and that, and on the other door, you might not give a damn, but it's destroying your cells on the inside, and you might die younger, but it doesn't matter, man, I'm happy now, I'm just tripping. Okay, fine, but what is, and you might not care you're going to die, but you don't want to take down other people with you. But they're trying to feed you this shit through the media, you're nasty, because we can't see the good and bad on every level in ourselves. But we know that we're not perfect, right? Unless you think you're Mr. Perfect. What does that mean, perfect in what kind of a world? Well, you're perfect, that's also imperfection, right? Because then there's nothing more for you. But it's like, if you're imperfect, then like we've all got these like, what do you call it, weak points or whatever on us, then we don't want that to be because somebody give you, branded you as such with their mark, tattooed you, like you're branded now, you know. They've manufactured your weaknesses, because that's where it basically is a lot of time. When you start speaking about, did you hear what so and so said? Then come up with some terminology, some kind of a wingy wangy. What's a wingy wangy? He said a wingy wangy. You can't say that. Now you're going to close the whole fucking college down because the head of the college said that. You know what I'm saying? I would not be offended by anything. I don't care what you call me or what you say about me or this and that. It doesn't make a difference. Because at the end of the day, I don't give a shit what someone thinks about me. But what I'm trying to say is, all these ego type things, any form of competition, they'll try to put competition in people. And they'll sell you what you buy. They only sell what people buy. So whatever kind of competition They'll try to make people compete. They'll try to bring the best out of people in terms of their effort. Because it was good for the system, for the matrix society. It brings the money to the system so they get power so they can control you more. So you're working so that something can control you because you're not able to control yourself. And you just care about a gold bill, or you start complaining about to your kids. Don't say that, it's not okay. You know what I'm saying? It's all bullshit. Miley Cyrus is stripping naked. The next thing you know, they're going to legalise fucking paedophilia. Hopefully not. But you know what I'm trying to say though? It's just a totally fucked up society. Now I'm not trying to compare MMA with paedophilia or some other kind of crimes and stuff. But I'm saying that there's blindness in people. And that's just the point. It's not MMA. It's not... Now they're selling fish burgers in McDonald's, or it's not that at all. It's not what I'm saying on here. I'm having a rant now, whatever you call it, in 2015, just voicing your opinion. It's not about me shutting up and listening to you either. It's not about. It's about when someone interviews you, or the correct way to carry yourself in society, the way you should stand, the way you should wear things. Like I fucking said, see my language again, Kung Fu. Let me tell you something. Before I made this interview, I made a 4-hour one, between 4 or 5 hours interview the other day, but I deleted it all because it was too long. And here I am ranting again. That's why I've got a bad throat. But I'm just saying, right, for the point. Right, what the fuck was I going to say? Yeah, like monks' robes, the martial arts, the Shaolin monks, or the ancient monks training the martial arts and that. They wore robes. Baggy, thin, comfortable material. You know, and not because they're going to go around and kick people's arse and go, oh, it's Shaolin. No, it's because they feel comfortable in all they're doing. They wear those robes when they're going about, when they're going and getting their food, when they're working, whatever they're doing, because it's comfortable for them. And this is nature. And the training is on the inside. You train, you don't... It's like... Fair enough, you've got like the military soldiers and stuff. What's that all about? You want to go into war? Why do you want to kill other human beings? Why do people want to fucking fight each other for? It's unbelievable. For what? For oil? There's enough resources in the world, they say. Why can't we just help each other out and sort it out and make the world a peaceful place? And like, watch Jock Fresco's videos, the Venus Project, what's epic stuff. And I'm just saying, right, awesome stuff. There's no need for guns, there's no need for killing each other, come on now. Right? See, so laws are there for a reason. So they legalise guns, they legalise this, other things are illegal. Oh, you can't take the guns away from the people. That's another topic. Look, in America, let's say, for example, you can't take guns away from people because people have a right to defend themselves, and they have done that for years. And if you were, there would still be people that were going to have guns anyway, and you can't control people in any things like that. So it's like, so then the other people are at danger. Well, that means the laws are ridiculous. In some other countries, or let's say like in China or here or in England, for example, I'm just saying, I'm not putting other countries down, I'm just saying, right, in some countries guns are illegal and there's less gun crime. But then in saying that, there's other countries where things are illegal and you get more of it because it's illegal. So the way they try to cut it down is by making things legal. Then why don't people make all crimes legal? Just make it all legal, then everything will resolve itself. Yeah, people just go and kill each other, right? Because they can't sort themselves out from their mental. It comes from the mind of a human being, which is cells, hair. It's not the uniform you wear, you're a police officer or you're a criminal. It's not that at all. But knowledge. The doctors, do you know what the doctor used to look like? Not a guy in glasses and a white suit with a receptionist. The person who was a fucking doctor was someone in a rainforest back in the tribes, back in the ancient days, learning about the herbs and stuff. He was just a knowledgeable man. Survival, martial arts. He's not a martial artist. This is not MMA t-shirt. Martial arts is about fucking learning to survive with nature and learning what it is to avoid getting harmed in any way, how to defend against that tiger so he's not going to eat me. Okay, I won't go and disturb the cunt. I'm just getting my language right. I'm not going to get into a fight with someone. If someone puts a hand on me, how can I block, how can I strike? So I'm trying to say, reality, not bullshit, right? So I've lost the point where I was at now, but you know what I'm trying to say is like, it's very, very damaging though, all this kind of competition. They confuse you up to such a point now where you don't know what's wrong or what's right. And the problem is, you don't know because you're in this generation. We are, no matter how old we are now, we are also the young generation. There were generations before us, and we don't know. And now we're left at this state. It's up to every generation also it's up to every human being right now to start being clear in themselves. You study from the generation before, the good stuff, but you've got to study reality, not just what is around you, what you see, or what you this and that. You've got to really study in what you're doing. Sadly, we can only learn from experience, and it seems like everything we learn late, because it's trial and error and all that. But I'm just saying, the way people's minds think in this day and age is unbelievable. Like going back to the monks' robes, I was saying, in the monks' robes, you've got soldiers going around wearing all that military gear, carrying all this heavy gear, assault courses, and then, and all that, and then going, wading through the mud and all that, and climbing over things with big backpacks on and gear, guns and that. Why don't they learn to train to carry first aid to people who need it, or carry food from one place to another, or to strengthen the humanity and help it not go around to be soldiers and kill each other? You know what I mean? It's the same as gangs doing crime, or anyone. You get people around who feel they're hard done by. Some people are born in parts of the world. Now we say there's enough resources for humanity in the world as such. We're not using them right. With the technology, well, we can improve it, make better technology and do more. But it's like there's people in those places who are born in places which are poor, let's say, and they're born, where there's like ravaged land, there's not enough, there's like drought, not enough water, not enough food. So that's natural. We can help each other as human beings. Who's going to help you, man? Really, we can do it. And then we can help them and then, and work it out in some way with the technology and that, so we can all have a better way of living. Why not? You say, why should we help them? You said, why should we let them die? It's the same thing. What I'm trying to say is, that would be more productive than going into wars and stuff, or people fighting. I say about gangs and stuff too, and then people that join gangs and youths and stuff. There's people like in England or America, people, or anywhere, that join gangs all over the world. They're like, there's nothing better for them. They feel that, my mum was in prison, my dad was in prison, my mum was never there, was on drugs, this and that, nobody was there, nobody cared for me, man, the society don't give a fuck, the government don't care about us, there's no jobs, there's no this or that, I've got no nice trainers on, Nike, I want a nice car, I want the bling bling, the jewels, and the gold chain around my neck. Well, they want that. There's ego again. But I'm saying, it's ego. They feel that this is what they need. If they don't have that, then they're not a human being, right? But there's people in the world who are starving, and they'll be so kind if you were to go there and see them. They'll give you anything. They give you a fucking stone or something because they're a little bit of water or something they might have to give to you, because they're just so happy to see you, and they feel you might be able to help them in some way. So all the same in some ways. But it's like, you put someone under pressure, or you put someone in the pressure cooker, you understand it, everyone can get fucked off, and you can understand society and the youths and that, and you can understand why, they feel left out, they're let down, they want more, and they might come from hard backgrounds, and it does, and it's a hard thing to say, just control yourself when you're living in this world around you, and you're feeling like this and that. But it's like, rather than self-harm, or rather than going around harming everybody else and that, there is a better way. I've found a peaceful life, more so. I didn't need to go out and fucking this or that, get into a gang or go and stab someone up or start taking drugs for my brain and take my mind elsewhere from reality. I don't need to fucking do that. I don't need to smoke, I don't need to drink, I don't need to follow Bob and Jake who go down to the pub every fucking night. This and that. I don't need to do that. You know what I mean? I don't need to go out making love to 1 million people every night and giving myself AIDS. You know what I mean? So that, selling myself like a hooker. A metal hooker. But we all love to do it and that. I'm just trying to say, I'm saying, but it's like, clean yourself out. I'm saying, not you, but I'm just trying to say, like a monk, the monks, they used to go around in these robes and that, comfortable and that. It wasn't like the martial arts, as such, had to be like, or some kind of uniform, or when you go to work, you have to wear a uniform so stiff and that. So it's all like, because everybody has to wear a suit because it's it's the style, it's the in thing. You're not allowed to wear a hat, or you can wear a hat. That's all bullshit, isn't it? Really, if you're getting the job done, you get someone wearing a tracksuit or some sports clothes, he's nice and comfortable. He can still do the job. He can be a good plumber, right? He can be a good teacher. He can be a good police officer. Really, you've got to have the uniform to distinguish who's what. But I'm saying, you know what I'm saying, comfortable clothes now. They associate styles with what they associate bullshit with whatever you're buying into, and that's what it is. So if you're putting your body through a rigorous regimen, training really, really hard and this or that, or putting yourself in danger, you might say a window cleaner is putting himself in danger. Fair enough. I'll say if you're doing, you know what I'm trying to say, if you're doing it for the ego of others and not your survival, then that's something totally different to martial arts, and that's more close to bullshit. Because life teaches us to live. We should learn to strive to survive and try to make our lives more fulfilling. Now, everybody has a bit of ego in them, I'm sure. Sometimes you want someone to say, "Well done." You like it when someone's, "Look at my picture. Do you like my picture? Oh, that's very nice." You feel good. It's ego again. And if you didn't say anything, you'd feel bad, wouldn't you? So you do it to show people. But for me, I'm the same when I'm doing my cartoons and I'm doing my animation or making this video or whatever. I'm doing it to try to inspire people. If someone says that they like what I've done, yeah, I feel good. But it's like I don't live for that. I know what I like. No matter what, even if they don't like it, I like it, what I'm doing. I'm trying to improve and study from what other people do. I like what I see in other people too. I like some of the stuff other people do when they're not even happy with themselves. But it's like, you know, but it's like this, you know what I mean though? I'm just, what am I talking about? Car crash. No, I'm just saying, but you know, it's not that I have to worry about what other people think. So thank you very, very much for that question. I hope I answered that. So I just feel violence is destructive for society, and showing people violence without, showing youth especially violence without, the young generation, showing that without teaching them moral behind it. There's got to be more moral taught, I think, in society. You know, but sadly people don't care about moral. They care about what you'll buy into. But negativity comes back to you, you know, and, one way or another. So you have to study it and see for yourself. Thank you very much. Basically then, my martial arts teachers in my life, you mentioned a couple there though. I've already mentioned all of them I think in this video, but I will go over those two then just quickly. My teacher did have a shop in, it was called Shaolin Way, a martial arts shop. They sell martial arts supplies, good stuff, right? You know, books, videos, all kinds of stuff they would sell there, or they were at the time. It was in London, Chinatown in England. It's something I've usually kept quiet about for the most part. I have all the respect in the world for this man, this teacher of mine, Sifu Yap Leong he was called. I think he was an awesome martial artist, very, very good at what he did. And he taught me some of the deepest meanings of martial arts that maybe I definitely would never have learned without him. He taught me the inner, deeper meaning of Kung Fu, you know, martial arts in general. because at the time I was doing kickboxing too. And you mentioned my kickboxing teacher, who was Fred Elson. Now, Fred Elson was such a wonderful man, an old man, you know. Fred Elson was around 60 something, and Sifu Yap Leong was 50 something, I do believe. But Fred Elson, my kickboxing teacher, was like, he was such a passionate man. You could see that he had other training in different martial arts too, not only kickboxing. You could see it because in our training we do different kinds of training too. Not only like other kinds of like martial arts self-defense techniques, but also different kinds of stances and breathing exercises and things. He was so compassionate. He would really care. He tried to give me confidence. He knew that I wasn't very confident in myself at the time. But this is Fred Elson, my kickboxing teacher, I'm saying. And but he was like trying to give me confidence along the way, you know. And he was like I don't know what he was like. He was a very warm individual, an older guy, but you could see he was very serious. He had a very serious background in the martial arts. I'll talk more about him in other videos if you like, respectfully. But mentioning now again, as you say, Sifu Yap Leong, my 5 Animal Kung Fu teacher, who also taught us some basic qigong, as I say, and weapons tactic training, martial art weapons. Basically, I learned a lot of knowledge from that man, but the biggest thing I learned from him was self-discipline. You know, focus. Like when I was doing a certain move or something, or like the stances, especially the qigong part. I mean, that was really hard training, focusing on certain positions and standing there and holding on to, you know, and focusing your breathing and like. Wow, it was totally different to the kickboxing training. The kickboxing training was just absolute regimen. I mean, full on. We was sparring. The workouts were hardcore. I mean, they were really in the kickboxing. But in the 5 Animal Kung Fu and the Qigong, what I was learning from the, Sifu Yap Leong, as I say, I was learning with him, and I learned so much discipline in the way of conditioning the body. It's different, it's just internal, it's totally internal. This is internal Kung Fu. It wasn't showy wushu and all this, it weren't all that, it was, I mean, I like that, it's different. But I'm saying, that is, it was southern Shaolin, and he would stress that it's south style, and like 5 animals, and we learned mainly crane and tiger for the animals. If anyone doesn't know the 5 animals, it's tiger, crane, snake, leopard, and it should be dragon, but we didn't learn dragon. We learned a little bit of mantis, we learned southern mantis, and and you got other things, like we learned the phoenix eye fist techniques and certain other Shin-Na techniques we learned, basics and stuff. But I was really into the crane and the tiger and that, you know, especially the crane. He showed us some monkey techniques too, believe it or not. But you know, you say this in today's modern society and people just don't understand. That's all. They just laugh at that. But back then, when I was learning this stuff, not because of back then, I mean, if he was going to do that now, you would see, I mean, that's real. That was it's a real knowledge. True Kung Fu is a real knowledge, and it's beautiful. It's a beautiful show. I mean, it's beautiful. It is really so efficient, and the MMA guys just don't have a clue. Okay, that's what I will say. So I'm very grateful to my teachers, although you know, I was paying money to these guys, and you know, and it was like for the schools and what they do, for, you know, and it was like, it wasn't like they were personal, like my own personal Mr. Miyagi, not at all, no. But so I'm not going to say anything negative about them. You know, but what I will say is, like, you know, I learned a lot from these 2 individuals. Is what I will say. Okay, thank you, bro.
So, how do you view society today as like the internet? Is the internet being a good thing for you? Have you met many friends across the internet? Okay? What gets you up in the morning, bro? Who inspires you as a human being? Who inspires you as a human being? Okay. Do you have bad days? And if you have bad days, how do you deal with that? How can the martial arts help somebody become a better person? Okay.
Okay, I'll answer those questions there. Thank you, Demzly. Excuse me. Bit of a cough now. I've been speaking for a long time. It's okay. Yeah. So basically, society in general. Well, it's totally fucked up, really. Excuse my language. For the most part, I feel it's a pitiful existence that people are going through in this day and age. We've got the technology, we've got the science, but most people should, I feel, they could be more positive and make the world a better place to live. There's too much violence and too much ego, and that's all there is to it. Unstable, hostile youths and people in general, hostile people. It's just shamefully pitiful, I'll say that. And pointless too, because you could be positive and get everything, make your life better. Anyone. Okay, so what did you ask me? Yeah, so hold on one second.
What is it that Shaolin 5 Animals taught you? Okay? Tell us more about your instructions you had. You had these bloody fights off of this. So, how do you view society today as like the internet? Is the internet being a good thing for you? Have you met many friends across the internet? What gets you up in the morning, bro? Who inspires you as a human being? Who inspires you as a human being? Okay? Do you have
Yeah, so the internet, I think the internet is a very, very good thing. It's excellent. All the communication we've got. I'm not going to say, but there are some bad points. Fuck about bad points. There's no bad points. It's excellent. You can, I mean, it's not machines, it's people. People need to blame themselves. Fix themselves, not blame themselves. Nobody's perfect, just work on being better. It's like, basically, enough said, right, for the whole video. That quote there, that nobody's perfect, but work on improving yourself. That's it. Anyone, but what I'm trying to say though is like, the internet's great, but it's like, I've met some nice people online, as I say, to a few people in the martial arts community, and it's a great thing. It can bring people together. It's great. You can share your talents. You can share and communicate. It's better than we ever had before in the past. This is amazing. But what I will say is, negativity's out there whether you like it or not. You just got to try to avoid it at all costs, is what I will say, okay? What gets me up in the morning? For me, it's a cup of tea. I've got a nice cup of tea here. This cup of tea gets me up in the morning. I get up for it. I'm just saying, basically, just tea what gets me up in the morning, but what inspires me, myself. It's basically knowing that we all have to do things we don't like go to work and stuff. So I want to make sure I can plan my free time well. Be it knowing that I've got to go to work tomorrow, let's say, so I'm going to use my free day well. Or it's like any free time I get, I just want to make sure I'm using it well, my free time, or planning, so that the negative stuff, the boring stuff, like going to work and all the other stuff, that doesn't interfere with my life. How many times my heart beats in my life and the blood going around my body and the cells. I'm not going to waste my life just for that. Unless I need more sleep, obviously, and I want to stay in bed a bit longer. Just my health and all the rest of it. So, doing what I feel I need. It's whatever I feel is necessary to make my life feel more fulfilled, and as in right now, getting to the point. That's what gets me out. That's what motivates me each day to get up and do something, more worth with my life, is what I would say. Now you mentioned inspirations, yeah. Who are my inspirations and stuff like that? People that inspire me are creative people. Any fantastic actors or directors you might know, martial artists in general. But if you want a list of people's names, well, I'll just give you a few. Even writers like Stephen King, great. Robin Williams, who passed away, such a pleasant person and comedic person, but very warm-hearted. Steven Spielberg, the people behind the Disney films and Pixar animation and all that, the creators of South Park, The Simpsons, any of these fantastic blockbuster video games, computer games and stuff. All the martial arts legends like Jackie Chan, Jet Li, Donnie Yen, Sammo Hung. Van Damme is a wonderful actor, awesome. But I do like Michael J. White and Scott Atkins too. Okay, Jet Li, if I mentioned him already. So the martial arts, people. Other martial arts, Steven Seagal is awesome, I think. Even though people put him down and stuff, I don't understand why. I do understand why, because people don't have a clue what it's about, real martial arts. But people that just don't give a F, like Eminem, people like Eminem or rappers that will stand up and what's his name, Stickman, I can't say it, Stickman, Dead Prez, or the rapper also for the song Back on My Regiment and things like that. Are very inspiring. But, my biggest, other people that inspire me, my biggest inspiration, this is my absolute biggest, and not Bruce Lee, I do like Bruce Lee and Brandon Lee, but my biggest inspiration is Jock Fresco in life. Jock Fresco, his name is, 90-something-year-old, he's absolutely an inspirational man. Other people were like John Carlin, I think that's his name, the comedian, excuse me. I like David Carradine back in the day for the Kung Fu series. So many of the old 80s films and music and things like that of the 80s inspires me so much more. I love that stuff. Anything of that nature. Arnold Schwarzenegger's amazing. Sylvester Stallone. Okay, I'm pulling them all out now. Okay, who else? People while I'm here. I don't want to get onto that whole topic of like religion and atheism and science and that. But people that really do inspire me, there's a few people, what's his name? Richard Dawkins, Lawrence Krauss, but especially Richard Dawkins though. Oh, there's another guy, I can't think of his name now, another, a few of those guys, a big fatter guy, an American guy, I can't think of his name, but he's great too, to me. Anyone who made it big, you know, Chuck Norris, Jim Kelly, even Jim Carrey as well, funny man. There's a lot of people that do inspire me. A few people online I've met, I won't mention any names here, but you're one of them, Dems. There's people who do inspire me big time. Anyone who's positive, anyone who's doing their own thing, okay? Fuck it, I'll mention their names, fuck it, I'll say everybody who inspires me on YouTube, right, my friends. You, Demzly, I'll say your names, or I might say your real names, I might say your online names, but if you know who you are, you know who it is. Greg Park, Will Gray, Dan Bowen, Jason Stork, Beale, that's Black Sword Shinobi, okay, Chuck the Man, yeah, Shinobi Mystic, Kenshin 715, yeah, you heard that, Master Wong, I think he's great, Gary Lamb, one of my biggest inspirations in Wing Chun, okay, Master Wong was about Gary Lamb. Other people, Loyal to Law's good, yeah, okay, I'll say hello to Mike if you're watching, okay, yeah, Mike, hi Mike. Clive Mackenzie, the man, right, also, Clive Mackenzie, anyone else I'm forgetting, I don't know. Uncle Cal, Rick, that's Bucky, nearly said Uncle Buck, excuse me. Rick of Defensive Empowerment, okay, Taiho Jitsu, what an awesome person, wonderful inspiration, always will be to me inspiration. Mark, if you're watching, okay, who else? Any of these people online who post these instructional videos on like doing great animation and artwork through like things like animation programs and things like that online, and these artists that use ZBrush and things, they really inspire me. Big time, right? I think a few other people, who can we have? I think Oprah Winfrey, believe it or not, she was alright. What's that guy's name? There's another guy, so some of these like talk show hosts, sometimes they're quite good. Any of these motivational, inspirational speakers, I mentioned Chuck Norris already. I used to like Bruce Forsyth when he was on the TV, I thought he was great. All the comedians from the Carry On films and things like that, and the old classic shows that were on back in the day. The people, Jim Henson and all the people behind the Muppets and the Sesame Street, well done, awesome. amazing stuff. Yu Suzuki, is his name Yu Suzuki, unless I'm making a mistake on his name, the producer of my favourite ever computer game ever, the maker behind it of Shenmue. It's inspired me for so many of my cartoons and my projects I'm working on. Always. Shenmue 1 and 2, awesome. Guy Yu Suzuki, awesome. Fucking awesome. Excuse my language. Directors of martial art films, you got Yin Wu Ping, Corey Yun, the fighting, Liu Jialiang, who passed away, awesome. Gordon Liu, Legends Forever, man, awesome, right? All that amazing stuff. Okay, other people, I can't think of his name now, but there's so many people that inspire me. It's just, I mean, hi Bo online, Bo too, one for the archery, combat archery, you know. Anyone like that, okay? Anyone who's into real martial arts, of course Bruce Lee, fair enough, Danny Nasanto, awesome, yeah, of course. One of my biggest legends, absolute awesome, is my favourite in Kempo. It's not the guy you're probably thinking of, like the founder of American Kempo. I can't remember his name, even though he's great in that. My favourite though, my absolute favourite of Kempo, American Kempo, whatever, derived from karate and different arts, is Larry Tatum, a legend. He is an absolute legend. I think he's awesome. Again, females, any nice, beautiful, sexy one? I fucking love that. But yeah, you can understand, because I'm normal and I love it. But But let me say what I'm trying to say though. Female Cynthia Rothrock, okay, for her martial art films, very, very good, okay. Of course, the people behind Karate Kid, of course, there's Jean-Claude Van Damme also for his film Bloodsport, Kickboxer, awesome, inspirational stuff, you know, it really is. Jackie Chan's a legend, as I can't quote enough. You know, there are some musicians too. Music, I like R.E.M., the group R.E.M., but for me, I love rap, you know, I like Eminem and that, you know, that's why it's influenced me a lot in my raps that I do in my free time, but I'm not the best, but you know, I like, I'm not the best, you know, but I don't give a fuck. But, so all of that, you know, you know what I'm saying, but really, who else inspires me? Anyone who's trying to do good for the world, my Mother Teresa, anyone who's trying to do good for the world, like anyone who, anyone who goes through crap on a daily basis but shows a smile to the world, anyone who tries to make other people's lives better, anyone who goes online and doesn't leave nasty comments on people's videos. Like the other day I was online and I saw loads of nasty comments on other people's videos, and I can't believe why people do that. They're just so nasty. So dumb. Disrespectful motherfuckers. What else? I've got a lot of respect for the police who do their job well. I'm saying the ones who do their job well, the police who go out and catch like criminals and stuff, or people like rescue, like firefighters or lifeguards, things like that. I've got a lot of respect for that too. Teachers, people who take care of children and things like this, people who work in orphanages or things like that. I do have respect for these people because they're doing this. People who work in mentally ill or psychiatric hospitals, like you see in the documentaries or the horror films. The people that work in these psychiatric hospitals or these or prisons and things like that, maximum lockdown, who have to deal with hostile or very hard to control or to deal with individuals, that can be very hard sometimes. To any doctors, nurses, surgeons, people that help mothers to be, give birth, people that give people life-saving treatment and surgery and brain surgery, all this kind of stuff. People that are looking into medicine and all kinds of things like that. That's amazing. I've got all the respect in the world for people that put this computer and this camera here, what I've got right in front of me now. I feel I've got respect for people that founded all the martial arts that I've got respect for nature, full stop, but it's like respect for, to the founders of Wing Chun and Tai Chi and all the martial arts in general, respect to the Shaolin Temple, respect to whoever's been trying to share good martial arts, respect for people like Masaki Atsumi, O Sensei, people like that in the past, people that try to spread the good message of martial arts through any kind of medium they can. People that teach art or music or creative things and creative writing and stuff to people, to help them open their minds and imagination. People that are good communicators or try to help people or inspire them to open their mind more and try and deal with their own mental psychological problems. I wouldn't say that every psychiatrist or person who might be trying to shape your mind, you might end up more fucked up than you were when you went in. But I'm just trying to say that people that have patience in them, people that love life. That's what it basically is. People that believe in life and want to create more and do good for themselves and people around them, more than they care about their own ego. That's what people that go around cleaning up the world, people cleaning up after disasters and stuff like that, be it natural disasters or wars or what, people going cleaning all that shit up. People going cleaning up hospital toilets or anyone like that, people working behind the scenes, people with cleaners on the London Underground, whatever it might be. People who work up on planes, people have to deal with things like that. Bomb squads, you have to deal with that shit. People that respect for anyone who's trying to do good for society more than just for the bucks, for the money or for the face, for the image. Anyone who develops like cameras, cars, trying to improve transport, trying to improve safety, trying to improve the products, the stuff we fucking eat. farmers who farm food but do it like, right, try and do it right, not just for the money, but I really care about not poisoning motherfuckers across the world, the people. People who take care of or try to stand up for humanity, national wildlife. And, really, really, people that care for the forests and the global warming and stuff like that. You see it online, and I'm not just doing it, I never usually talk about this stuff. But seriously, people that are saying, we need to do something. The drilling in the ice and all that stuff that's going on, we've got to stop, because at the end of the day we're going to be fucked up and we're going to be all underwater if people don't fix this shit. People trying to stop pollution, cut down on it, or people that are trying to work on, people that are trying to work on improving technology so we don't have to be emitting so much pollution in the first place. People that are saving people's lives right now. People that are catching criminals. People that have got the guts to stand up, kind of like vigilantes and stuff. I'm just saying, not exactly, but I'm saying people that stand up and sort of stop crime. Anyone who stands up for victims of bullying. Anyone who stands in, like be it your friends in the school right now, any kids who try and stop the bullying, stop the fighting going on. Anyone, be it a student, a teacher, or anyone who works in an educational environment, who tries to bridge the gap between students and teachers and tries to not let them get into arguments or fights or this shit. I've got respect for students who've got their head down, really focusing hard, studying really hard all over the world. Because that's fucking mind-breaking stuff sometimes. People that have gone through difficult situations, like maybe being left homeless or whatever, being an orphan, or had terrible things happen, or may have lost a limb or different things, but they still carry on with their life like nothing, like they're okay with their life, or have forgiveness for others too. People that will never hate their family or hate whoever else for abandoning them or this or that. People that are not always looking for revenge. People that are not always trying to offend people. You know what I mean? People that want to do good, but not just for the sake of wherever else. It's just for the sake of just doing good because they want to. They feel good about it. People that build any buildings. People that plumbers, electricians, anything. I can go into detail. People that study the stars, not only science and science fiction, but people who study to protect the Earth in the event of an asteroid or something like that. Excuse me. People that don't hiccup, that motherfucking me. People that are always seeking to be creative and artistic. People that, not autistic, I'm joking. People who are, not afraid of what people think of them. People who are chefs and they're working really, really hard in restaurants. I know, is it Jason? You do that, right? Hard work. People that have to stand in those clothes every day. Excuse me. People who work in theme parks. The people that dress up and have to wear those big costumes outside, standing in the sun, handing out leaflets or something like a big teddy bear or something. You know what I mean? People who make movies, people who are directors, writers, people who are musicians, people who make all this technology, like cameras and all that, and improving it all the time. People that make anything useful available to us, for us to use our mind with and just help ourselves. Inventors, make tools, people that try to spread a good message with what they do, even though they can't force their interests and beliefs on you, but they try to show you in a positive way and be a positive role model to people, and try to educate young people more. In terms of just putting, rather than just putting it out there and saying that this is what it is, this is how you knock somebody out, and that's it. That's not what life's about. People that actually make clothes that we wear. We wear shoes, or people in the factories working in those, making those fucking shoes, every day. People that sit there every day on computers and stuff, and in offices. I can't stand the thought of that. But people who do that, or working in factories and stuff. But going again, like I was saying, clothes though, we wear clothes. We don't think about that every day, unless you sew your own clothes. You know what I mean? People, builders and stuff. You know what I mean? People who have to deal with not weddings and that only, but weddings, but also funerals and things like that. How to deal with people, cremations and burials and setting up all that. Well, that's a lot of stuff to deal with. And people, you know what I mean? People who try to make you feel special, people who give you a nod on the street or give you a smile. This is what I believe in. I believe in it. Why don't you? I'm joking. Simple as motherfucking that. People who, you know, I don't know. I just don't know what to say. People who are trying to think how to use Earth's resources better, so we can, you know, have more anything, right? More effectively. Including things like nanotechnology, is it? They're making these tiny little microchips and stuff like that. It's amazing. Because that way we're saving the resources. It's just the mind, the imagination, the technology, how we use it, and we can do amazing things. Right? That's amazing. Right? It's amazing. Oh yeah. And you know, people that tour guides, or you go around travelling around, taking you around to see, and they have to repeat themselves over and over again, telling you of what this place is, all like that. Any kind of drivers, anyone who's on the roads driving, but trying to fucking drive properly and trying to be respectful of everyone else, even though everyone else is driving like nutters. And you know, that's what I respect, and that's what we should be doing with our language. Not only driving, we should be doing that with language too. Driving carefully, communicating carefully, even though everybody else is out of control. I respect people like that, you know. People that don't feel the need to constantly give you advice or constructive criticism or a comment or something that's from your point. People that care about how it might hurt someone else's feelings, or because that other person's too emotionally sensitive, and that's their own problem. But you know, people that keep these things in mind. People that don't just go around cussing everybody off, or looking down upon people, or following other people thinking that someone else is higher than you, when it's not the point. People that look for the truth inside themselves and know that we're just atoms, cells, blood, hair and skin, and the body, and all of a sudden, hiccups. You know, people that put tea bags together, like I've got a tea bag in my fucking cup, I have my tea, you know. You know what I mean? My goodness, I got no idea. People that do anything to protect humanity. That's what I'll say right there, okay? And allow, and are creative. So that's a lot of people there. It's a big list for you right there, yeah? Okay? And yeah, I'll leave that one at that. Thank you very much. Okay, yeah, thank you, Demzly. The next question I'll answer here, the next batch of questions. Yeah, the first one was you said then about what do I do when I'm having a bad day, and how do I get through difficult situations, and does martial arts help me get through a difficult day or difficult situations? How do I get through that? How does it work? It's a mindset. It teaches you. It's a mindset. It's like, you know, you might be standing in the cold, as I say, waiting for a bus in the freezing cold. You've got your warm jacket on, but your mind tells you to focus, your thing like that. Martial arts, the kind of training you do in it, helps you to focus rather than focusing on something negative. Focus on your own energy. And I wake up every day, and as I say, if I didn't have the martial arts in me, I don't know where I'd be in life in general. It's absolutely helped me get through more or less every difficult situation in my life. It's not like I think martial arts, not at all exactly as such. It's just most of the time it's so embedded in me, it's just part of me. I'm just naturally now able to control my mind and my feeling. Not perfectly, and of course I'm a human being, but yeah, I'm a human being. Hiccuping like some fucking Star Wars animal. Excuse my language. Jar Jar Binks. But no, go back to what I was saying though, really, seriously though, that's what it's taught me to, like, you know, understand myself and and fuck. But basically, if you're cracking up, wait for it. Excuse me. Excuse me. Watch it in slow motion and 3D glasses. This video is not 3D. The sound is 4D, but the video is 2D. And he's just watching it in 3D. Oh, anyway, what was I? So basically, you know, hey, do you remember this, guys? Do you remember? He's climbing in your windows, he's snatching your people up, trying to rape them, so you better hide your kids, hide your wife, hide your kids, hide your wife, and hide your husband, cause they're raping everybody out here. He's climbing in your windows, he's snatching your people up, trying to rape them, so you better hide your kids, hide your wife, hide your kids, hide your wife, and hide your husband, cause they're raping everybody out here, bitch. Yeah. Do you remember that? Was it Antoine Dodson, whatever his name was? Yeah! It was an epic, a classic. Do you remember that guy? Sorry, off the subject for a second, I just love that. Bed Intruder, man, awesome! I loved it. Auto-tune, you know the track that made the auto-tune that famous, the voice effect? I love that. Anyway, going back to what I was saying, right? Banging a sharp nail with a blunt hammer. Yeah. Okay, what the fuck am I saying? So, a blunt nail with a sharp hammer. But basically, yeah, so that's basically it. See, it helps you to focus, basically. It helps me to focus on myself more so. But you asked another question, though, you know, about, you asked me another question about, like, yeah, is there anyone who's like had a bad influence from it, or taken the wrong path as such in the martial arts? Is that what you're saying? You're basically like anyone who's come out bad, who have gone the wrong path or taken the wrong direction as such. There's a lot of those people, and I stay clear of motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying? But basically though, I mean, it's true. You know, there's people out there, anyone who's just started to go onto that ego path, or gone into competition only, or mostly, or people that have gone out there to teach martial arts maybe, and they've not really cared about it, or they just use martial arts to just show off, to like I say, just advertising to make themselves look good, or because they believe if they believe in their heart that other people, how other people see them, you know, is the most important thing of all, then they've gone past the point of martial arts. They're not a martial artist anymore. And no matter how hard, no matter how much of a good fighter they are, or whatever, it's still not it. And you might say, yeah, but at the end of the day, it's still going to kick your ass, ain't it, bitch? You know what I'm saying? But really, yeah, maybe. But, you know, the truth is, you know, that's not martial arts. You know, martial arts is truth and true self-honesty with yourself, and that's what martial arts is, I believe. Now, you did ask me about weapons too, briefly the weapons again, so I'll mention the weapons again. Martial arts weapons and training. I've learned basic knife defense, I'll explain that in a minute. Basic knife defense is a little bit of that, things like that. But I've mainly learned the two short sticks, which I like. It's not Eskrima and not Kali, it's Kung Fu short sticks, two short sticks. The bow staff, like the long stick, or in Chinese is gun, okay, gun shu, whatever. But it's like, I've learned the northern and the southern, and the same for the saber or the broadsword, which is the single-edged curved sword, Chinese sword, the broadsword, dao shu, okay, I've learned some of that, north and south. So north and south, long stick, north and south, northern and southern, a broadsword, a little tiny bit of straight sword, like the Tai Chi straight sword you see, which is double-edged. Butterfly knives, also, which are like famously known like for being a Wing Chun kind of weapon, right? But we learned a little bit of that, but it wasn't in Wing Chun. We were learning it in the Kung Fu, the 5 Animal Kung Fu school. That's how I was learning. You know, as you do. I was just saying that. But you know, which is the thing, you know. But you know, I mean, it's the thing. Like, I like to incorporate all kinds of training into the training. I believe weapons are like just an extension of your body. But you know, like in the ninja days, like back in the ninja, like there was like, if you drop your weapon, then you're barehanded. So they learn the weapons, they train the weapons like in ninjutsu, like, before bare hands. But usually you learn the bare hand techniques in martial arts, and the weapons are like an extension of your body. I don't advise people going around carrying weapons around. I really don't. And the same for guns, knives. I don't like it myself. Personally, I just don't like it. I don't agree with it. It's ridiculous, pathetic, weakness. But you know, to know about the techniques and the interestingness of the techniques and the combat, the way it works, and the artistry is very, very interesting, and it can help you in your mind. Excuse me, it can help you in your life to channel your energy and control your body in different ways, how to fight and how to move and how to do different things in life. That's why I like it when you see like Jackie Chan films and stuff. Jackie Chan, when he's like doing all crazy moves, using all kinds of things, he might pick up a broom and stuff, fighting with that. But it's like, it's not, you might watch it and say it's comedic and stuff, but believe me and you might say because that's what you see, but for the film story, but the truth of the matter is you can use anything in different ways and it can be very useful to you. And some of those techniques are real, from real Kung Fu training. Most of it, in fact. You can't be rigid and you have to be flowing, and that's what martial arts, especially Kung Fu systems, talk about. So fluidity of movement, balance and all that, you know, where your center is and how you can use anything to control like, the situation in combat or artistry of any kind. So what I want to say, okay, basically, you know, is I love weapons. I've also learned other weapon training, like from things online and video sources and books and things. Tonfa, which you know some of too, don't you, Demzly? Well done. Demzly is very good in Tonfa. Tonfa, okay, there's the Sai. I've looked at different things online, but I like the Tonfa. I like those long weapons, like bow staffs, but on the end there's a big blade or something like that. There's another weapon you see like in Bagua, where they use like two ring things, one in each hand, like a blade, star-shaped kind of thing. They're interesting. I've never been very interested in the shuriken or the ninja stars, the throwing stars, shuriken or shuriken. Never. I've never found that very. But I'm very interested in the actual art of it, and I've practiced some different kind of throwing arts myself, of different art, which I'll talk about in other videos if you like at some stage. But martial arts in general, you know, I love it all. I think all of the weapons and training techniques are really, really interesting and very useful. Okay, excuse me, I'm yawning because I've been like, you know, after work, you know, I've got my daily life, and so I do get tired sometimes, but you know. But yeah, that's basically it for the weapons. But I don't advise people carrying weapons. I was stopped once by the police for carrying my two short sticks at that length in a pack. In a pouch, what do you put a case from my Kung Fu, what I was learning, and I was coming home, and I guess somebody may have thought it was a gun or something, because what happened was I was waiting for a bus, and I was going home, it was late at night, and I had this thing in my hand, and I was spinning it, not spinning like a crazy man at the bus stop, I don't mean that, but I was like, just spinning it in my hand slowly, just by my side. I was just standing by the bus stop, there was nobody there, it was like an empty street almost, but there was like a bar or something across the street a bit further down by the river, in Putney this was. And basically it was by Putney Bridge, this was, in London, Southwest 15. But what happened was these two police officers came up to me and they said, what's that you're holding there? Would you mind me looking in there? What is that? And I showed him, I said, oh sure, the opening, what's it? And he saw it, and I told him, I said, I'm learning martial arts and Kung Fu and that. And I kind of started to babble at that moment, and I said, you know, it's for self-defense and that, you know, but I said, just for practicing the moves, you know, and that. Of course it was, you know, but with the heavy wooden sticks, if you were to hit someone with that would really hurt somebody badly. Plus, I got the heavier ones too, I think, because it's like for the training of the wrist and training. But it was like, my God, you know, and when he said, well, no, he said, you don't really need that, do you? You don't really need those, do you? Okay. But he let me take them off. The guys couldn't take it off me, you know. They didn't want to cause me trouble, they let me take them away. But there I was, armed with these wooden sticks in my hand, you know. But it was like, what do you say? They were just doing their job, you know what I mean? But this is the mentality of human beings. I could have been a maniac. I could have gone away and smashed someone's car up or smashed someone's head in with those, you know. I could have, I wouldn't have, you know, but they didn't know, you know, and they just let me off, you know, and they could have took them away, they let me off, or someone must have called them up and said, there's a guy over there holding something, it looks like a gun, or it looks like this, who knows what they might have said, you know, maybe from the block from behind me somewhere, you just don't know. But it was like, because there were windows there, but I'm just saying, you know, it was interesting. But, you know, in society, as I say, where do you start? It's like a needle in a haystack. There's just so much it's such a mess anyway. But it's like that's just a little story there what happened, you know. But obviously I was just carrying those for training, and I often carry a lot of gear with me, you know, my machine gun. I'm joking, laser cannon. But I usually carry you know, my training weapon, my sword, sometimes more than that, a sword, a staff, both staff and both together in one pack. Literally with a long stick, carrying that with me in the supermarket and that. I'll be, you know, I'll be my other bag across my back there with all my kickboxing gearing pads, shin pads, groin pads, foot pads, gloves, all that, you know. Oh my God, my clothes for changing, my training clothes, unless I go home in the gear. But it was like unbelievable, you know. It was like back in the day when I think back to it. But the butterfly knives too. They're not sharp, you know, but they're blunt. But it's like they're training. But the weapons I used to carry with me were for training, you know. And if you've done martial arts or you do martial arts, you know what it is. I remember our teacher used to even talk about that to us too in the class in the 5 Animal Kung Fu. He used to even say that, you know. Once there was another guy, one of his students. He said he saw, or no, he didn't see. He said, but there was a guy who was training in the park or something with training knives or weapons, and the police took him away or told him about it. And he said, you know, well, that's the thing. He said, you have to find places to train. But that's the difference to here in China. In China, you can just train anywhere with things like that. There's a lot of things you can do. It's a safe environment. There's not maniacs going around and this and that as such. You know, like how dangerous it is in the West, I feel. Compared, it's totally much more safer here. At least where I've been staying anyway. But I'm saying, like, there's parks and stuff. You can go to a park. I could go to a park if I wanted to and start spinning around a wushu sword. I could go crazy in martial art moves, bow staff. I could go mad, and nobody was shouting my head off. He went, yeah, like a nutcase, you know, all crazy moves, jumping kicks. I could go and start smashing them on stones with them, like a nutter. But nobody, well, I think if I did that, I'd get some attention. I was saying, for the most part, no one would come over, and the police or anything, say, "What are you doing?" You know, if it was on the main street, maybe. If it was on the main street, I reckon I'd still get away, unless I'm literally doing some damage, like vandalism or attacking someone. Unless I'm doing that, then it should be totally fine. There's no problem with that, you know. So that's true there.
And also, if you want to talk about your animation now, you can also. You like making cartoons and stories. So could you tell us, what drove you to make these cartoons? Where are they on the internet? What channel? Could you also tell us about the books you've written? I know you put some on Lulu. I did put one on Lulu actually. So, you know, it's all about creative. Can you tell us about the books that you've written, okay? And you've also written some comics. You tell us about your comics that you've written, which I think are very good. I took a look at them, ladies and gentlemen. I think they're really good. You know, you should send them off to publishers. Can you also tell us about... you've written some scripts as well, haven't you? Could you tell us about the various scripts you've written and just go over in basic detail? Because you never know who might be watching this video, who might like the idea. So I always say to everybody, you know, don't be afraid to sort of, not advertise yourself as such, but don't be afraid to just share about who you are, because this is raw truth, man. Do you know what I mean? This is the raw truth. So many people are afraid of the truth, or what they do, they bastardise and break the truth and bend the truth. But how stupid is that? Because you are living that. This is us. You are a living entity. And I don't care if it's YouTube, let's get a bit of opinion in it. It doesn't matter if it's YouTube, you are still you. You get what I mean? And it doesn't matter what people say or judge, like, as long as, like as Van Damme says, as long as you're not hurting people. But this is who you are, bro. So, you know, what scripts have you wrote? Who's it aimed for? What's the background? How do you get the time to do all your training and write your scripts in between work and that? Do you have any advice for people at home who'd like to fit that in? Do you have any advice for people at home who are looking on training, who maybe the same thing goes, not being lazy, who cannot get to a school, they might have disabilities, okay, I know Richard Rogers was great on helping children like that. Okay, people don't realise just how many kids he did help. They think YouTube and they have, oh, YouTube, you can't teach martial arts over the internet. There's so much truth in that, yes, you know, and all this dojo crap. I don't want to go into this. Because I'm underground and I don't roll with them sort of shitheads anyway, do you know what I mean? I do my own thing and I concentrate on my own thing, just like you do. Just like every martial arts watching this would be doing anyway, do you know what I mean? So this show obviously is for the underdog, bro, and I actually think, Richard, that you are an underdog who's been fighting a battle from day one. The bullying, the constant way you change yourself into a physical specimen of Kung Fu. I mean, your own, how did you come up with your own Kung Fu flows? How did you come up with that? Because I know you've had formal training, but how did you come up with the flows to move like that? What is your ideal of a martial art? What is the image of a martial artist in your eyes? Okay, in your eyes, do they have to look like big muscle like the film stars? Do they have to? Would they look more like lean, or what is the stereotypical martial arts? Okay. What are your philosophies in life? I know you've got a lot of philosophies. Do you do philosophy videos? Okay. Could you give us a quote now? Could you give us a bit of a demonstration of one of your techniques or one of your moves? Okay.
Yeah, thank you very much, Demzly. Thank you so much for talking about my comics and everything, okay, and the cartoons. That means so much to me. I'm working very, very hard now by myself, just making these cartoons. I make little animations, I'm doing 2D and 3D, plus I write my own scripts, I write books in my free time. I'm just doing anything I can to be creative. Artwork, plus the music, the raps in my free time too, all kinds of videos. I'm just always banging out creative stuff. But other people might not like it, but I'm just loving practicing and learning more as I go. I've got some very good softwares on my computer, and I'm just learning, and I love drawing, and I'm doing it. I'm working on 2D and 3D cartoons now, basic stuff, just trying to learn as I go along, and I like to tell my own stories. The comics too, as I say, I'm trying to do a bit of that now. I want to get more into that as well, because I like that actually. It's good. Writing though, as I say, writing to the scripts here you mentioned. I've done some scripts, you know, in the past that were like full feature length, like for movies, designed for like movies and stuff. But I don't know if I'll ever make them into proper, even cartoons, because right now I've got the technology. I can do like 3D and 2D and some good stuff on the computer, but where I didn't before, obviously. I didn't even have this computer at that time, but you know, I'm just saying. Oh, excuse me, but you know, I'm just saying. You use what you do, what you have to do what you do. You said, what drove me? You asked me a very good question. What drove me to do them? Well, two things really. One thing is because I've always wanted to be like a film director or to make my own films. I've always wanted to get into film. I've always wanted to do my own fight scenes, martial arts too, and all that, choreography, storytelling, making my own stories totally too myself. But that's never going to become a reality so soon. I'm not going to get into Hollywood and this and that, am I, straight away? So it's like, cartoons is another medium. It's like another thing you can do, which is also an excellent medium. It's just a different thing, but it's like a different way of telling the story, right? But another reason though is because I actually love doing it. I just love doing them. So I've got loads of stories and imagination. I love to just tell more people about my stories that I make and stuff, you know. I've got, for example, one of my main characters, his name is Kai, and he's just a martial arts fighter. And he's got like very, very intense, extreme powers in his martial arts. And it's just a story of a martial artist basically who's trying to find himself, more or less. He's trying to find peace. But every time he encounters violent, hostile situations, he ends up obliterating motherfuckers. That's basically what it's about. But it's like he ends up like, but he's got so many powers. He ends up like tuning into these inner powers and stuff, where he's able to do amazing things like tearing buildings down and smashing. So you might, like in one of my episodes, he gets mugged by a couple of guys, and he ends up using his powers, and he just touches this wall. Just cracks the whole thing, and then the whole building comes toppling down on both of them, which is extreme, right? That's how even if you could do that, you wouldn't do that, would you? But then he's always got these memories in his mind of his master, his old master who died, who always kept telling him to stay on the right path about peace and everything, you know. But his master died. He got old and just died. This guy's a good guy, you know. Kai, and he's got this show called The Invincible Martial Madman I made, and this is something I just kept going. That's one of my cartoon characters, one of my main characters, and this character I just kept it going, and he was getting into fights and stuff in tournaments, but then like later on he goes into there's different things going on in the show, you know. But what I'll say is another show I make, which is called Real World 2000, or I've been making Real World 2000. And it started off, it was going to be like a more 3D project, and I was thinking to like integrate some like 2D into it and stuff, because that one's 2D, like I said, but this one, I was thinking to do some 3D. But what happened was, like, it ended up more like 2D animation. It was kind of simple. It was like, I was trying to like, practice my artwork to get better, like more manga or more anime kind of style looking, but it still didn't look that good. And my animation was very, very simple and very rough. And the way I moved the characters too was like very like South Park kind of style, but I embraced it and I kept it. And I thought, you know what, I'll just keep that style, it looks okay. And in the background, as for the backgrounds, some backgrounds you see very simple like 2D, and some backgrounds look more 3D. It's like the way they are, you know, but it's like, it's just a little very rough cut put together thing that's supposed to be like, it's supposed to be more flash, it's supposed to be good, you know, a new thing, but it's still carrying off some of that roughness of it. It looks kind of rough, but it's like, I kept this thing going and I tried to give it colourful. Kai is the main character in the show. He wasn't supposed to be in the beginning, but Kai was the main character in the show, and he's in this show, but he looks different. He looks more slimmer, more younger, more friendly, normal guy. I mean, he's a martial arts fighter, he's a badass fighter, he's still Kai. But in this one, he's got a friend also called Don, who's like a slightly younger seeming, it's another guy called Don, who's also a martial artist, and they like fight enemies, fight evil together, but it's like, they go on there's different stories, different things going on, and then they go to different places and things happening, you know, and it's very, very interesting. I always love making episodes of Real World 2000. In fact, it's something that I'll continue to do, I think. It's just something that's fun. So far I've made, I believe, 6 episodes now. Could be 7. I think it's 6. I think it's 6 episodes. It's 6 episodes so far of Real World 2000. And it's some good fun, you know. I love doing it. And I have a channel on YouTube which is Animation Arena. Look up the channel. Anybody go on there. There's a space between the 2 words, like Animation Arena. Go on to YouTube and on the channel search, and you'll find it. If you can subscribe and watch my videos, I'll be very, very happy, because I work very hard. And it doesn't matter. I mean, I'll share my cartoons on different channels, but that's the main channel. And for the cartoons, and the good thing is I've actually got some new epic software recently. I've got some Unreal Engine 3D graphics like software, which is awesome, and also some other softwares too. I've got ZBrush I'm using now. I've got some real good software on my computer. I'm not going to go into detail here. I've got a few different bits and pieces I use for animation. If anyone would like to know, I'll let you know, but it's just, I'm working on some cool stuff. I want to get the 2D, the 3D. I want to do some epic, really good cartoons. I would actually love to make some a game or something in the future too. As I say, but we'll see what happens. There's a lot of cartoon characters I have made. I've made other characters, as I say, other characters such as Bullet Fist, Billy the Cowboy, and the Legend, which is Azzy Banger. If anyone knows Azzy Banger, you have to check him out on there. Okay, he was my first like character creation, and got Ralph Pick on the. But you know, as I say, you know, Kai is my main character usually, my main hero type character I've made. But he's like. You know, we'll see what happens. I'm always creating new stuff, okay? Thank you. So if anyone's interested in taking a look at my comics too or anything, do let me know, okay? And I may send you anything if you'd like, or if you'd like a link to any of my other stuff. I do have a DeviantArt channel too, which I might be definitely using, hopefully in future, to put some artwork on there as well. And the DeviantArt channel is Wushurichard. Sorry, no, is Richard Clark Ninja. Hold on 1 second, I've got to check that out 1 second. Totally forgot, man. So Richard, hold on 1 second. Richard. Yeah. 1 second. DeviantArt, we're on DeviantArt. Check that out. But it is anyway. I'll let you know, okay? Yeah, there's a DeviantArt. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, where am I? I'm not even signed in. But anyway, so I think it's either Richard Clark Ninja or Richard Clark Ninja 1, but I'll let you know, okay? But that's the okay. I want to say thank you so much for those questions, Demzly. Thanks. Yeah, I totally agree. Thank you very, very much, Demzly. That's absolutely true. And thank you very, very much. It's true. I totally agree with what you're saying, though. Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. So they can do whatever they want. They don't know the reality. The reality is in what you do. And I do share, and I would love to share my points of view. Yeah, about that. About in terms of creation. How can somebody find the time? Well, you just simply find it. If you're busy, if you're at work or any time, you can find the time to have a stretch or take a few notes down. It's just about fitting that little bit in whenever you can. It's as simple as that. You'll do what you want to do in your life. If you don't want to do it, you won't do it. It's as simple as that. You can't really always put aside so much time, or it can be really hard to find time to do what you want to do, but you have to do a little bit of something whenever you can and work on it. Okay? And that's the only advice I can give for that. Really, I really do feel that anyone can help themselves to create more in this life if you find a bit of time. You can't, it's like you decide what you want. There's always times where we're doing something when we could have been doing something else, right? It's about arranging that time a bit better. And if you're at work or this or that, I know it can be hard, but as I say, always look for that door. Look for something, another way out, or another job, or find time when you're at work to take a note down, or a mental note, plan on your way to work when you're thinking about it. Okay, it's like for me, if I was going to plan one of my new cartoons, I've got a busy day, I've got a busy week of work, what would I do? I've got no time to make it today, so I'll take a few notes down in my mind. Okay, it's going to be about an aquarium, for example. It's going to be about a planetarium, going to space. So, okay, Kai and Don go there. I've got the plan in my mind. Okay, what's going to happen? I take a few notes down in my mind, mental notes. Okay, a massive model of Saturn falls down, and and Don gets his leg caught underneath it. And then the story begins. Okay, what's going to happen from there? Some funny thing. You have to plan it. What's going to happen? Or they're fishing. Or they're out on a boat somewhere. And then what happens is, before they look around and where's land? Oh, the land's gone. We must have drifted away without realising it. And then that's the beginning for a story. You have to set the scene for a story. And then what that does is that brings your interest in. And if your interest is now drawn into an image in your mind of a story of what's happening, and you're seeing that, suddenly you forget about all that boring shit, other stuff. And it doesn't mean you put everything down just for that. But it means you will put the time aside to write a few notes down here and there and work on that. Okay, tonight what I'm going to do is I'm just going to draw out the face of that character, or draw him out, the character. Or I'm going to write a list of points, what need to be done. And you just work on it gradually, and before you know it, you'll have something done sooner rather than later too, and more rather than less. Because if you just think about, oh my God, I've got to make a whole cartoon, I've got to write a whole book, oh my God, I've got to find time for that, then you'll be saying that forever. But I don't do that. I just get it done, and get on to the point of it. And yeah, that's all I'll say about that. And basically, I'd like to come through then, well, what can I say to you? First of all, I have been like a victim, I will say, for most of my life. That's based on basically my personality, and also my build and everything, and I've been in the wrong place at the wrong time, and I have felt like a victim, and I felt like I've been bullied, because when I was a young boy I did get bullied, as I say. I was in school and my mum took me to learn karate. She didn't know anything about the martial arts, but she took me in because she knew I was never into any sports like football, basketball, nothing like that. So as I said, she took me to learn karate. She wanted me to toughen up, and make friends with people and stuff. But anyway, I've always remained this, I don't want to say timid, but more quiet person, not the toughest. I learned some good basics from karate, in those years. It's definitely the best foundation for me, martial art. Excuse me. But the martial arts, though, truly. I took to Kung Fu especially, more so, the traditional arts, and the flows, like you asked me about my own flows, how I got into my own flows, like doing Tiger, then going into Wing Chun, whatever it might be, Tai Chi, pulling them off, coming into Snake, or whatever it might be. I just feel, I'm not showing off as I watched lots of martial art films, fair enough. You say they're films, it's for entertainment, yeah, fair enough. But I was looking at the way they were mixing up different styles and the way they flow, because it's like not every day you can see traditional martial arts all around you, is it? You go to karate, you learn karate, you see people doing the cutters, next thing you know they're padding up and doing sparring. Or you go to a kickboxing school and that's that. And it's like, you've got forms and stuff. You know, in traditional martial arts you've got forms. Wing Chun, you know, you've got forms, Tai Chi, you've got a form, karate, you've got cutters. Everything else is just fighting straight off, you know, you've got sticky hands and stuff, but it's like mostly like fighting, you know, kickboxing, sparring, MMA. But like to actually learn the flows and how to like flow and blend, a lot of that stuff, a lot of times you can see a real mixture of traditional looking arts too, be it the more flashy stuff or practical stuff or whatever, but it's like usually in films and stuff you see. So I was a fan of Kung Fu films and all that anyway, so I was looking at some of these people who I still regard as experts. I don't regard them as just showy people in the film, because that takes a lot of artistry, it takes a lot of self-control in your body, right? In a real fight you might fight differently, but it's like definitely an art to it. It's really, really good. It's like anything, like ballet, ice skating. So, and I know that there's meaning behind every martial art move too. It's not just like a yoga or this or that. It's like meaning towards true combat in terms of fighting and true health and fitness. So I was just looking at all the stuff I knew from the different arts, and then looking at other people, the way they train and mix up certain arts. You see things like JKD videos and stuff like that online. Or you see someone doing a move in a Tai Chi flow, and then you might see another video with someone doing some other form of fighting, and you say, well look, that looks kind of similar to that. Okay, what if he was doing that with just one hand? Or what if I was to change this form and do it on the other side? Or what if I was to do that and use legs rather than hands? Or what if I was to do that with palms rather than fists? Could I do something like with my elbows? Could I do that standing on one leg? Could I do that holding weapons? Okay, no fists, but like holding two sticks. And I looked and I was thinking about different movements, those circular movements, line movements, and big and small. And I was learning all the science of my body and realising that, well, if you really truly can, as they emphasise, you know, like defend or attack from any angle, that's something that should be studied. So I was studying my body. Every time I'm doing exercises and stuff, or just exercising, I think about how I could literally block from one angle, use another part of my body, or see if I can move in a certain way. And they just developed through practice. Just literally practicing what I knew, and then also watching loads of stuff online, like demonstrations, films and stuff where people fight in different ways and flow, especially the old classic martial art films, you know what I mean? And that's what basically did inspire me to do that with the flows, okay, to work. Until now I've just got this flow, this mix up. I definitely fight the way anyone else does, you know. The same way Floyd Mayweather and Mike Tyson will fight differently to anybody else, you know what I mean? Because they've got their own style in the way they do it, but it's all subtle things you just don't see. But martial arts is very focused on focusing, you know, in the mind and the body, so you learn more focus. When you do traditional martial arts, you can learn about katas, you learn about all kinds of moves and parts of the body, how you fight, palms, hands, strikes. So you learn the movement, the balance and that. Some people say it's like a showy thing or like a dance, but it's not. It's like you learn the practicality. You learn when you're practicing, like anything in life, because that's what martial arts teaches. It teaches what is real and what's not real. What would be practical to a real fight, and what would be practical for your health, or how you can adapt things to be better for your health or better for a real fight. And you learn. And you just do things a certain way. People might not understand you, or how you might react even as a person, or how you would act in certain situations, but you understand how you control yourself and adapt and apply yourself to certain situations. So I was practicing over and over, practice, until now I've like got my own flow or flows and way of flows and flows of ways. That's basically it for that. Okay, there's some very good questions there about what's my image in my mind of a martial artist, a real good martial artist. Okay, definitely someone who's in shape. Definitely someone who's got a bit of a physique. I'm not the biggest, toughest looking guy, but it depends. But what I mean is someone who is, like you say, would be lean, but lean in different ways. Someone you can be slim, definitely. Flexibility is the most important thing. They're two different arts, don't forget. It's not like the way, but for me, traditional martial arts is the way, but I can't say the way. I mean, it's like, we'll give some leeway, you know what I mean? Because like, you've got traditional martial arts, then you've got MMA. But traditional martial arts, definitely, the flexibility, all that, stamina, you train through it, the endurance, and you know, maybe doing some light weights, high repetitions, but you don't need to be so big, you know, I mean, like literally try to bulk up as such with weights. But it's different kinds of training, right? You know, that's the image I see of it. Okay, someone in terms of personality, someone who's humble, and that's basically humble and means business and takes their life seriously. Humble and takes their life seriously. That's basically it in a nutshell. Humble and takes their life seriously. Not someone who takes their life seriously and goes around advertising. No, someone who's humble themselves and keeps themselves, just helps themselves quietly, but so well, really, for themselves, to become the best shaped, naturally shaped you, in the shape of you too, but it's enhanced, improved. That's really what it is. Someone who's got a good physique, though, someone who's flexible, and someone who's got an overall, definitely in combat, in martial arts, in terms of strategy and the way you fight, you should have a good control of, you know, all that blocking, striking, movement. You should know some basic throws, locks. I think everyone should have a basic understanding of many different martial art concepts and ways of fighting, but also exercise and ways of movement, because the traditional martial arts has got a lot of movements in there, and breathing and exercises for the body and forms and things, that if you just learn the fighting, you will never learn the benefits of those, which are very secret and very hidden within them, I do believe, in the forms. Not like mystical magic. I mean, really, the breathing, the chi, the energy, how you exercise, how you apply the energy in certain ways, it's like magic. It's really fascinating. You asked me about my philosophy too. My philosophy is love life and don't fuck people's lives up. Now, basically, I've always said that everything is nothing, nothing is everything. You know, we talk about books and stuff, like you said, like I even wrote a book before and put it on Lulu, like you did, you know. By the way, Demzly's got some books on Lulu, okay, check them out, guys. You've got Kickboxing in Paradise and Dark Twisted and Something Stupid, some great fictional stories there. But for me, though, I've put some books up before, as I say, a few bits and pieces about, I did a crane techniques book, I did a book, a simple one, I did a picture book, and I did another book which was called, was it The Way of Truth? But I'm just saying, that's just, no one can tell you the truth or the philosophy that will be perfect for you, but for me, my philosophy on life is very simple. It's like, just go with the flow of nature. And not only follow the flow, I mean, go with the flow of your nature as it fits this nature in the world around you. There's no need for you to start harming yourself, because of anything else around you that's not part of you. You know what I mean? That's what it basically is. I love all the philosophies of yin and yang, yin yang, as I say. Before I had a little book thing, I was writing quotes down and stuff. And I've made lots of philosophy videos in the past, Wushurichard's Life Philosophy video series. And there's so many of those videos. And the sad thing is, they're old now, they were on another channel called vidler.com, but they never made it onto YouTube, sadly, but most of them. But, I will do more in the future, and we'll have more philosophy talk videos and my thoughts on life. But basically, my philosophy on life stems from my true philosophy, from my heart, but also from the passion of the martial arts, wisdom and knowledge. So it's basically the flow of nature. That's what it basically is all about. Really, that's it, basically. As you requested, Demzly, I'll show you just a quick, simple technique, or a few techniques together, which are very specific to my style of training, just my way of training, okay? Bear in mind, I do a lot of training. I do things from like Wing Chun, the Wing Chun training. I like to do Wing Chun, you know. I like tiger, I like crane, all that, okay. I like all that mantis, snake. I love many martial arts. I love karate, let's say, a lot of different movements. You might see me train in different videos. But I'm just going to show you a quick, simple flow. Before I do that, I'll talk about another thing too. So I'll tell you a quote here. I always say, it ain't hard if you train hard. Okay, that's what I always say. Train hard and stay safe. Everything is nothing and nothing is everything. That's one of my quotes I've always said. There's so many things I've always said in the past. I had like a list before of quotes. Like one of them was, what was it? When present, be not present but present. When not present, be present but not present. So it's basically that you learn to be like an actor in some situations too. Like, you know, like for the mindset, so to like for people. Because sometimes people use the mind, you can like win battles sometimes with your mind rather than fists. But anyway, a quick demonstration then of a movement. I'll explain. It's like a few movements together. It's not exactly a Wing Chun or a Tai Chi or this or that, but it's like something in between what I do. Just some shit for people out there who don't understand, right? Basically, like in a basic like Wing Chun kind of a stance, with my knees bent. I know you can't see very clearly here, but my knees bent and tucked inwardly. My feet spread about shoulder width apart. What I'll do is I'll be going into that stance like this. See, it looks like a Wing Chun stance almost, but it's like, sometimes I'll do that, I'll just wrap up, you know. From here I'll be like standing there, and I'll just go in, coil up, you know, my body, give you a better camera angle, coil up the body, see, and then just go in and wrap around like that. I'll be doing these kind of movements. I'm exaggerating a little bit here. I'm so sorry you can't see the camera angle from here. But yeah, sure, I'll give you a little simple demonstration and explain what I'm doing, okay? It's very simple, but to the untrained eye you won't have a clue what it's about, okay? So basically, I'll stand there, I'll spread my legs about shoulder width apart, and bend my knees tucked slightly in. And you'll see me do motions where I'm just, for example, I'll step back, I'll just go like that, I'll coil in, see? I'll calm my body in, so I'm doing that, and we're wrapping around, see? And we come back out like that. All these kind of motions, you see, it looks like a Tai Chi almost. It looks like that, it's like a Wing Chun almost, see? We're coming in there. See what I'm saying? So I'll be there, I might come from here, whipping out there, see? I might go back into a Wing Chun again, punching, put the palm in there, going from there, palm it up there. But the main thing I'm saying is, this coiling action, you see from here. Learn all the motions, like a snake almost. But what I'm doing is from here, and I'm turning things like barbed wire almost, just like Tai Chi, it's like Wing Chun. On the centre, I'm like coming in. All this is like very rounded. So I might come up here, I might come here, I might come here. And then when you go Wing Chun, like on this very small, you do that properly on the line there. And punch, block, from here, see? From here, go over from here. Punching again, it's like Wing Chun properly, you know. From there. But it's like what we're doing is that I'm rolling softly, see, I might go to that basic Tai Chi almost, but it's like rolling and coming into things. I might go a lock there, I might go to arm lock, who might be, elbow from underneath there, chopping up, always catching, when it comes catching underneath, rolling over, rolling that, bring that in, coming out to the other side, grab that on the elbow, pull the arm up, go to lock there, sinking down, palm in the gut, take that away from the strike. Then the side kick to the foot there, turn elbow, he tries to push me, over catch that. So as I'm rolling, whatever comes in, I circle to what's coming in. So he's coming in, I keep it so refined on my centre line, someone comes to push me, if he grabs me, I just grab that. Kind of here, I might elbow under there, I might come in very close, I might bring that back, I might bring him back again, my whole waist movement in. Against his head there, the tiger, wherever it's going to be, see, over the top, lock his arm under my shoulder there, under my elbow, armpit, sink down, see, I might step forward, I might come in, I might just step back, pull him in, so it means forearm strikes coming in, see, from the top there, same like elbow also, bam, you might come in, I might take that forearm strike to the back, to the head there, you can see it comes to the hip, mate. I might step back, grab that forearm strike over, my knee in front, guard in front of me there, knee in the face as he's coming down, into the rib cage, smash that, kick him back off, Forward of the foot, like karate, coming in, step on the foot, come in there, elbow out from there. So different techniques you can do. But it's like I'm rolling with this motion. So like a Wushurichard Tai Chi, I've been feeling this coil. I've been from big motions, see, from big motions, like from here, see, and all this exaggerated stuff, you see, like coming out here. But what I do is I'll bring it in, so I'll wrap it in. That's in Wing Chun again, very small, see, very tight, see, I'm coming in. He comes in there here. But I don't need to exaggerate, coming out a mile away, and do all this flashy stuff. Just come in. The most important thing is practicality. Just like Wing Chun, so parry and punch, see, parry and punch, pump, hand, see, parry, punch, block, punch, see, always trapping him up, the elbows, push him back, come back again, push him up there, come in, go down here, just grab the, lift the elbow up, psychic him off where it's going to be, just sweep him away. So as I come in, I sink low, see, he's going to strike him from there. Someone behind me, grab me here, I might grab that way with the elbow him back there, crap, elbow in, see, no. What he's going to do? I'll just get me up here, to block up there around the centre. But I'll just catch him, outside punch. So coming straight in the palm, it's a piercing palm, barbed wire. You can imagine two different kinds of techniques flowing in. But what I'm doing is I'm rolling, see? So every time I turn around, see this kind of motion is like, oh, block, it looks like I'm just some fucking drunk. I don't know why, like, he comes to grab me here, he might come to touch me here. I can use my arms, see, like that Wing Chun, see, properly. Or from here on the side. But what I do is I roll. He might come in here, he might come in very close to me, see here. I might open up that. I sink lower than him always. So can push that in, he come in, if he's pushing me, I'll pull. If he's pulling, I'll push, see, whoever's going to come in, see. From here, he might come over. I might be here, he might grab me with his two hands, open that up here, can palm that over into his face, and go straight into the throat, left or Phoenix side fist, block down, go straight down into the gut, into always to the nutsack. He has to grab me up there, block that over there, and that punch there, block there, and punch to the gut there, to the ribs. See? Block that, straight in, straight to the head, that one's in, whole body solidly into it. Kicking him up there into it, or knee as he's coming in, and then slapping shock to the neck, wherever it's going to be, see? You know, slap that to whip it out like a crane. See, different kind of techniques I might do. So naturally, if I'm going into a boxing, wherever it might be, you see, or like come into a boxing, so you can work that in. So I can always come in, just working the parries, blocking from there, see, elbow, wherever it's going to be, guard in with the elbow, just come in, you might crack his fist on my elbow, for example, or break his fist, because he shouldn't be trying to hit me. So, you come in, I've always got my knees guarding against his, I can always kick against the side of the knees, his foot, deflecting, distracting with my hands, not opening myself up too high, just being here close, and different movements, so you might be coming here, I might grab that hand, he tries to grab me from the side, from that back fist to low, crack that up, see, I might bring that down, or I might come in, I might just kick that foot away. So I've got all these different motions I can do. So when we learn about all the basics, like in Tai Chi when you do the ball, or you be very tight, so from here, so all that from the centre and all that, it's just different exercises you can do. See, or even up from here, blocking in, see, block it from that Wing Chun again, see, different kinds of variations you can do. So like this one, Wing Chun here, or like this one, or like from here, now, or different circling now here, see, I mean, or like crane, see, different kind of motions, and then coming in, finding the hole, see, over here, coming in, pushing, you might come really on power, absorb it in, come over to Tai Chi here, see, over the top, step in, maybe, and then push, open it up, maybe for a kick, coming in, crane, see, up here, he's trying to push me, or I might be blocking that hand in the back fist to his nose there, so there's so many things I can do, elbow in, as I'm blocking. That's covered there, see, sometimes I'll be using things like that, see, with the elbow, like barbed wire, for example, I'll be going over there, see, with the palm, but it's like, I'll be using my two palms, see, I'll be there using my two palms, so this one underneath sometimes, and I always have to use my palms very naturally, very softly, the palms and the forearms, so I'll be rolling over, see, I'll be using going over, see, the crane, and things like that, see, things like that, the crane, come over, see, Tai Chi again, come over, tight open, see. So everybody's coming, I can open him up there, I can palm in the head, go low, parry that, wherever it's going to be, my knees coming in, anytime I can start going boxing, wherever it's going to be, over where it's going to be, I'm kick in the head, surprise that one, and knock him out, I'll punch it, hook, bam, and take it over that hook, just be very, very natural when you're doing it. But I was coiling naturally, so my whole body comes together, see, like, it's like ready for Wing Chun or Husenda. But it's like all comes in, it's my way, I'm saying, my way of training. It comes up like circular, too, like water, so as soon as he comes to push me, I'm ready to like turn, so he deflects and he flies that way, he pushes me that way, see? He goes and he flies that way. So it's coming in my whole body. It doesn't matter, and my legs, my body, he grabs my arm, I go with the flow. He grabs my elbow with the flow, roll on top, he pushes my elbow, my hand comes out. He comes touching me there, I drop down here. I don't have to waste my hand, he's there. Here, so here. So you're not too high up here, and he hits me here, so you're too low here, and he hits me here, so always covering. If he crosses my arms up, it's okay, I can still shove him open, I can still use that, see? Always the two hits, when I step back, this one comes in, see? So two hands, but not too far, so like there, always directed in. So when something goes back, something comes in. When something goes back, something goes in. Under, see? Over, circling, all that. Same time, I can always find a way to push him. Over, they punch straight through the fucking air when you punch them. Run fucking through the air when you do it, do that. Just stop chopping out, sink, don't lean over before you over. Sink down and just chop straight to the throat. That should be game over. Knee blocking your groin now, otherwise you can your groin and finish your. As they say, I can come straight up again. Elbow comes in, he's grab it, elbow that, break something as he's coming in. Well, he's going to grab that, grab my arm, hit you in the face. Right underneath, so you can see it coming, always snaking up underneath, over from the outside. What is it going to be? See, tiger, not to grab him or lock him, but it's like he's coming in with his hand, and I block his elbow, so his hands away from him. See what I say? Come under here now, hit, or elbow, you come to grab that, take that away, hit. You always use something to it, not put yourself balance, make you sunk down so you coil in. See, now I can come back again and bring some, here it's going to be. I'm coiling, see this coiling motion, see? So I can feel when he's doing second palm, see from here. See, and you feel when you're coming in. Bam. And you're coming in doing this, see? Bam. Bam. So you swing smoke up there, see from the circle. So turn from this side now. You come in, see, I'm up from the low kick. See, here, up into the jaw, and crack his jaw and finish him off. I'm here, see, in the face. I'm sinking it all down into all these traditional movements I've learned. It's not going to work like just come up to someone and do for flashy, for show, and come up. It's not going to work. You're not going to fuck you up. MMA, it's not going to work. You've got to be like when someone's running off to you, what are you going to do? Go with the flow, so you lift him up. Chuck him down, kick to the groin, back in the hip, smack to the temple, punch, kill him. And so with the actual technique I'm saying, I'm not saying do it. Come from the back of the elbow to the back of the head there, sink down. I understand about the centre. So I understand cutters and forms and things. See? I'm coming from here, my wrist, I'm coming out to wrist or from my forearm. So it's going to be, it's kind of, it's not, you should chuck him, or it's going to be from here. So you're feeling all the stance power of it. So the cutters and things, all the power, see? Just karate and things, see? Crossing out, see? Let's see, crossing here. He hits. I hit. Hammer fist or reverse spinning back hammer fist or this hard protecting my body here. It's low be here. If I hit, he blocks that, my foot's here. If he steps in, he can throw me back. But the reason he can't, because it's a setup. I go in, very close as well, make sure he doesn't hit my groin, be careful of that. If you're not confident, get away. Because what I do is go in smack. As he blocks that, I grab that hand, take it, and sweep him back with my foot going back that way. Switch that. So, if it ain't going to work, don't worry. You just feel it's not going to go that way, you change slightly, and then go forward. Or go in which direction he's going in. So, almost like a traditional Kung Fu motion. I'm going to form, I'm not going to do that, see? Let's go back into boxing again. Boxing. Locking that in the main, what do you want to do? Elbows on the points, like weak points like the elbow, cracking, whatever's going to be. Now there, yeah? Each strike should be there to finish him straight away. So he's coming in, step on the foot or knee behind his knee, whatever's going to do, sit down and he's go behind you, go lower than your opponent. Elbow coming on the inside, hand on the inside, elbow on the outside, hand on the inside, grab the elbow. Just all the principles of Wing Chun basically, I'm just on the centre here, doing that in a Tai Chi kind of way. See? But what I'm saying is that if your Wing Chun's good enough, then you use Wing Chun. If your MMA is good enough, you will use MMA. If your boxing is good enough, you use boxing. And you use all your motions, see? If I was something here to train on, not for training, but I'm just saying good ideas, see, the lines and stuff. Sometimes I don't use different things I can use for like different positions. You sometimes say, I can't really explain to you too well. For me it's like that, having an elbow, see? Having an elbow, see, come under here. And from here, see, I'm cracking me in the face now, from here. Bam, see, coming in my body. Like I see, he wants to push me, see? His fist is trying to push me. I simply turn, see, the way, see, on this side though. Because that's his other hand and he can hit me with that. I don't want to block that and then his hand hit me. I make sure I can block it from here. See, from that side. See, work the distance of it, see, I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to say to you. So from there, I come there, blocking in the body, see. Not knocking his hand away. He's coming into me, all his power. Whoa. I just move away and that goes away. You see what I'm trying to say to you? Okay? Blocking on the side like this. I don't do that MMA like blocking like this, he's punching me from there. You're thinking about a big tough guy and punching me. What I'm doing is I'm not doing that because that's bringing me more closer. I'd rather bring that up here, see? And you say, oh, you're afraid because this will hit me in the face. No, because I do the block properly. And I understand the centre line. So basically, it's like a block is coming to hit me. I block, see, and I turn off, so he's coming in that way, and my palm or my fist continues to move forward as he goes past me, straight into his head. It's like a very fine line. So I say, so I see that, see? It's like a block, see? This is here. I have to push that shoulder, see? Push that shoulder as he's going, see? See, or punch straight to the head. See, you just punch him right to the head, like Wing Chun properly, see? So what I'm saying is that's proper Wing Chun. He's coming in. See, I might parry that and it'll go up to the head, maybe. But I don't want to go and block like this, and my hand's up here, unless his face is going to smash that. But it's like I have to come back again, see, or come boxing. See, I'll always block here, so I'll block here. He's coming in, and then his face is right there. That hits his face right there, and his hand's right there. So I'm trying to say it's more quicker. Maybe he's coming in, but at the same time, so you learn that in Kung Fu, is what I'm saying? It's not always good to stand on one leg, but you learn. I'm saying distance, you learn, see, how to use your feet and stuff in different directions. I don't need to reach it out, see, I can just do it from there. If you close, I use knees, see, elbow. It's a real Kung Fu philosophy and stuff. I'm not fucking around with this thing, I'm just trying to tell you. See, over there, using different grabs, utilising different grabs and stuff, see. Using that, using grabs to work your finger. See over there? See, working different kinds of motions to feel the position, see? To feel the position of what you're going to be doing, knee there. See, knee, not only for the sake of kneeing, but it's for the sake of protecting, because if I just block him off when he comes to hit me with something else, see, I must guard, my knee must guard, my shin, all against my centre, because if I can't just block the guy here, and his leg see me kicks me in the groin right here, I have to cover that, see? When I'm doing all these big motions, you see, like this, I talk about like toiling and all that, see? I'm learning all the toil. I'm learning how to circular motions, I'm saying, learning how to do those kind of shoulder bars, see? And it's up here, my knee in front of his, he's up here, I just trap him on my shoulder from here. See what I'm saying? See somebody there? See, I punch that, see? See? My knee in front, the whole time my knee is blocking against this thing and you can't see. You know, could it be a foot, whatever it could be. When I come back behind that for a neck break or whatever it might be, see what I'm saying? And that neck up there, see, I go from there, carry that, I might slide through, see, and then all these different times of stepping and stuff. So when you learn with the martial arts forms and stuff, you can learn about the shape and how you're moving, how to move your body in different ways of moving, is what I'm trying to say. Okay? So, I'm just doing the movements very softly, being careful with this thing, just showing you a few moves. So it's like, you know what I mean, there's only so much you can do with certain things, but if you train on trees and solid things, you can train a lot of power, different kind of stuff, you know. So with the tiger and all that, what movements can you do, see? I could be here, I could be stepping through this thing now, working all kinds of movements, I'm sitting here, grab that, crack someone's arm, up here, see? What it's going to be, chopping at someone's fist there, in terms of palm fist, long range, what it's going to be, see? Working on two, see? Even just focusing on the 2 points, even just focusing on the 2 points, see? And then you've got things like weapons as well. I'm just saying that. I'm just saying, see? See, I'm just working different points there, see? So I need to understand how I use that power on that point, the distance. I can't just go like that missing and he cracks me in the head. Or I can't just go like that and he pulls me off the balance. I need to understand how to turn, see? How to flush with the end part there, see? Cash out as I come back. Block with a solid stance as I block. Right, see? Sticking down, blocking up. See, this is the hand protecting my face. Can you see that? See? So this is not really too far now from here. Points. See? So this is what I'm talking about. I just stuck around and say, Wushurichard. If you drop your weapon, how can you fight again, see? And then work training all your movements from different angles. See? Learn how to utilise Kung Fu rather than shallow-mindedly saying fuck you. That's what I like to do. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you for that. Thank you, Demzly, for that question.
What else can we expect from you, Richard? What else can we expect from Wushurichard in the martial art world? What are you here for? What gets you up in the morning? Where do you see yourself in about an hour's time, about 2 hours past one pimple? No, where do you see yourself in, I don't know, a year's time, couple of years' time or whatever? You know, what do you want out of your experience in the martial arts? What do you want out of your experience on YouTube, okay? And the friends that you might be making on there, okay? So, let me just touch on another thing, which you years ago fell victim to a little bit of cyberbullying, not cyberbullying as such, but I think like a lot of people was pissed off with certain people making fake accounts, this, that and the other, which is just like total beyond out there dickhead, isn't it really? I mean, and you go onto forums and there's people writing comments about other people under Wushurichard, but it's not you. You know, and it's just like, why do people in martial arts do this shit? I mean, in my experience, there's a lot of bitching in a lot of things, a lot of politics, and there's a lot of things in a lot of sports, right? And Bucky, Richard Rogers, did actually tell me, he said, why don't you make your Demzly show more political? No, I'm not into politics or anything like that. I'll be damn sure going to shy away from any sort of dickhead who decides to bring some sort of damaging energy onto anything, you know what I mean, especially the martial family. So what sort of human being does these things, you know, have they not grasped the elements of martial arts yet, or, you know what? Is martial arts the way of peace, the yin and yang, because it tells about the yin and yang? How do you view martial arts? Now, I'm throwing a lot of questions into the mix, because, ladies and gentlemen, if you know Richard, you know that he's a vast person, he's very clever, he can make loads of videos at once, blast them out and all that, and but I know he'll be able to deal with all these questions, because, ladies and gentlemen, I don't ask questions like normal people. Why have structure? You know what I mean? Let's be the ultimate bastard and let's just like mix things up a bit. Not like MMA, let's not mix it up. Let's just like, do you know what I mean? Let's just flow with the flow of life. I need no notes. I don't need no notes. I don't write no notes, okay? No notes. Do you take no notice? No, I don't take no notice. I don't take no notice and no notes. I do cross-eyed stuff. Yeah! See, it's just a good joke and an actor for the camera. But,
Okay, thank you very much, Demzly. I get the point. I do get the point. I totally understand what you're saying about that. So first of all, I will put that first, okay? I will talk about, like, just briefly, about the negative people you get online and in the world. You said, don't they grasp the meaning of martial arts? No, they don't. They obviously don't. It's not about that. It's about life. They don't grasp the meaning of life. I would not at all believe that someone was a real martial artist if they were doing that. Now, there's things in my life that would have me having second thoughts about myself too, if I was to see myself in some instances and say, God, is that a real martial artist? You know, but those people though truly are really beyond pity. It's like if I was to turn around, if I was to say I don't feel pity for anyone, that would be very shallow, something very mean to say. But what is pity? I mean, I don't mean in looking down on people, I mean feeling sorry for people, that's what I mean. I feel sorry that these people can't find a better life. You know, at least I may have been some inspiration to some people blindly. You know, at least the victims, or I don't want to call myself a victim. At least the people who these people, you know, found interesting were found. You know what I mean? What I mean by that is at least I ain't give a fuck, y'all. I don't give a shit, motherfucker. I just don't care. I wish the best for everyone. I really wish that everyone in themselves can find good. Okay, I'm just joking around, sorry, but I really hope, seriously though, I do hope that everyone in themselves can value themselves. You know, in fact, I can say it this way: if you want martial arts, true humbleness, right? Humbleness. All negativity should be frowned upon. Yeah, that's true. That is true. But in true humble martial arts way, I'll say it like this: when I say I pity such people like that, okay, it's like this. I can even say this: those people who choose to this or that, they obviously see something in you which is good, or something that they think is better than them, or they want to be like you, obviously, otherwise they wouldn't do it. Otherwise they wouldn't, if they just thought you were a stupid person, they would just totally ignore you. But obviously there's something there, even half of an essence that they like about you, and that they think, well, this is irritating, or I'll pretend to be this guy. So to me, if you want true humble honestness, what I'm going to say, the point is, I think then that these people must be even better than me or us in some ways. And why do I say better than me? Because this person is humble on the inside, and this person sees what they see in a person, and they think, wow, you know, I want to be like that, or something draws you to them, so they're interested in you. Because of their fear, they never show themselves. They'd rather just pretend that they are you. So in this, I feel this is really cowardice to be doing that, but it's like it does show though, that they are so afraid, they are so humble in themselves, that they could never show themselves. You know, it's like not wanting to show yourself is a good trait. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm not giving praise for that. I'm saying, I mean, truly, you should show yourself if you want to get your ability out to get yourself known as, in terms of to do some good. But if you're doing something negative, it's negative, and that's what it is. But what I'm saying is, the good sides, okay, which is what I'll focus on, rather than, you know, giving a shit about the negative side, because they'll send themselves to hell or wherever they're going to go if they carry on doing the way they're going to do. But I don't give a fuck about that. But what I'll say is, you know, I feel sorry for pity for them, but I'm saying, but these people, you know, I do feel sorry for them, because there's a humble side inside, obviously, and it's this fear that I want to stop, because I've been such an afraid, timid kind of person all my life. The reason I do everything which I do, everything, is to try to give confidence to people who are afraid in themselves, or are timid, or don't have control of their feelings, be it their lack of martial arts knowledge or their lack of self-control, whatever it is. There's people out there who are more timid than me, more afraid, and I can't believe this. This is really a terrible feeling, being afraid of this or that in life in general, so many things in life. So my goal, and it always has been and it still is to share, and my cartoons, everything I do in martial arts, is to give people confidence so that they can learn to find confidence in themselves, to say that you're good, and not because that needs to be compared to someone else. It just truly is. You do what you do, and if you're not trying to harm anyone, that's good enough. So if people go around and pretend to be me, I will feel sorry for them. But if they don't do anything nasty, that's okay. You know, not because I care, but it's like because I don't want them to hurt anybody else. I don't care if it's me hurting anybody else or them hurting anybody else. I don't want to see any other human beings hurt on this planet, because there's fucking too much violence in the world. There's people getting raped, bullied, tortured now, and even those bullies, even bullies and nasty people, even there's probably some gang member now in tears because someone he's just lost in his life, and I feel sorry for this person now. I want his pain to go away. You know what I mean? That anyone who's causing, because I don't want to see that in anyone. I want these people to realise and look into the heart and say, the world's fucked up. We've got to change, and let's do it together, and let's communicate with each other. If you're sitting there together now with a friend or someone, talk, and then let's get onto a positive project, make something interesting. No matter if people like it or not, fuck them. Just do something good, and show the almighty thing, which is, you have emotions inside, but you're human just like anybody else, and you don't need to be covered up. You don't need to cover yourself, or you don't need to pretend you're someone else, or not live for that. Show, be yourself. There's nothing wrong with you. That's what I say. So these people, if they can't find the confidence to be themselves, I hope that I can continue to inspire anyone, or I hope that they can continue to be inspired by anything that they see, and use this in a good way that's going to help themselves. By all means, fair enough, but don't go around using other people's names or this or that to hurt others or hurt those people. Okay? I don't care. Even if I was to draw a nice picture and someone was to show that online and say they did it, fine. I don't give a fuck, Or if someone was to go online now and say that all of my martial arts, they taught me, and I've never seen them in my life, fair enough, good luck to you. I hope you can make a lot of money from that, anyone, okay? Good luck to you. I hope you can be healthy and have a nice life. I'm just saying, this is how I feel. Pure, total honesty, like a monk. I literally live like a monk at peace. I don't care about anything else. I don't have ego at all. I just want to share. So when I'm showing martial arts and I'm doing all these moves on here and going crazy, I'm just showing how you can control yourself. I'm saying to yourself, if someone touches your body and tries to pull your hair, kill you, or you want to commit suicide, or if some violent motherfucker walks into your school or college on drugs and someone tries to attack you or rape somebody, you can learn to block his arm off, okay, and control him, or whatever you need to do, push him back, there, get him in control, or whatever, until the police come. I'm just saying, for example, just giving you ideas of kind of control that you can have over yourself. Kind of exaggerate, so I'm exaggerating a little bit, but just to give you the idea of how, when something, you can have, you have the option there to say no, the same way as anyone can have, anyone can have that in their mind to say, they want to be a police officer, they want to do this or that. You can choose to do good in your life, you can choose to help yourself. Just focus, have fun, just take it easy, take it a pinch of salt. It's not that hard. Just sit back and say, you know what, fuck it, I'm going to do something else today. Just, put a smile on your face and just do something else. Just do something creative. You're worth more than that. That's what I'll say, okay? So for negativity, I ain't got time for it. Thank you very much.
So Richard, I think I've asked enough questions. Now I want you to go in depth. I want you to make as many video responses as you want to this video, okay? And you're my dear brother, and I value you a lot. And the reason why I value you, Richard, is because you're such an honest person who's been through a lot, okay? And I don't think enough people give you credit. And you are, in my eyes, one of the best martial artists that I've known in my life. And I'm not just talking about what you can see as such, or what you can't see, it's what the eyes can't see. I'm just talking about as you as a general, you've been around it. And me and you both experienced similar things in childhood. Did you want to share anything else with your childhood before we end this video? Because anything you want to share with people that could help them, okay? Have you got any advice for people who are actually suffering at home, okay?
Thank you so much to you too, also Demzly, and thank you everybody for watching this. It's been a very long, but it's been my pleasure, to make this, okay, with Demzly. Demzly, yeah, we are very much alike. We're bros for life. But I want to say, in this one, okay, so yeah, I will share a little bit more. I won't go into too much detail about my past because it's private, and I say but it's like, I have been through a lot in my life. I've been through more than, I know many people who would not be able to go through what I've been through in my life, I'll put it this way. There's people in the world now, self-harming and committing suicide and all kinds of stuff, but I would never take that wrong path because I understand that life's more worth. I know what I don't like, I know what I do like, so if I know that, it means I know what I want from life, so there must be better, right? So always. So because there's always something more there for you if you want it, that's a good enough reason for me. My life is no less than anybody else's, so that's the way I see it, that's what I feel everybody should be like. I want to say then, okay, so yeah, that's what I want to say about that. My life, I've been through some hard times, been hard at home, hard, different instances I've been through, but I'm not going to go into detail, but if you've ever lived like a prisoner almost, like, or live under lock and key almost, if you've been living under stress outside the home and at home, as part of growing up, you'll know what it's like, okay? And it's just awful. I've not been like abused or anything like fucking sexually abused. None of that, okay? I'm not laughing at it, I'm just saying I've never been like that. I'm just saying, right? It's a kind of abuse, and I've had abuse 2 years ago, and for 7 years I was also getting some real shit, okay, as well. But that's here. But anyway, going on to detail, right? Here's the main point. What you're saying. Do I have any advice for anyone else out there? Do I have anything I'd like to say? I should say for anyone else out there, or to people who may be suffering at home. You said also, like suffering anywhere. Just be strong and know yourself. Know what you really want. You don't need to do anything violent, okay? You don't need to do anything crazy, but there is a way out. There is a way out. I've fucking made that step myself. I pulled myself out of hell. But it's not a negative one. It might not be easy. It might be rough and that. You've got to be careful in your steps. But the best thing I would say, right, is this is not. I'm not trying to give counselling and help for people that want to run off from home and this and that. I'm saying for people that, which I didn't do as such, but I'm saying I would say for people that communicate with your family more. Try to, family, friends, people around you, the best you can. But always try to communicate with other people. Try and find. Don't go trusting any weirdos online either, okay? Or fucking strangers online. You can't do that and go meeting people you don't know who they are. No. But I'm just saying, if you get talking with someone face to face, like in a shop or a bookstore or somewhere, you know what I mean? Just ask a question. Do you know where? Just get chit chatting with someone. Gradually, you'll just get to know them. You won't say, "Oh, I'm going to make a friend today," as such. But you'll be talking with someone, and then gradually, you know, you'll say, "Oh, it's you again. How are you?" Maybe someone in the shop and that, you know. Really, you could be in the shop. You could be buying a magazine or something in the shop, and you often go to this shop, and you say, "Hey, do you know that movie? It's a good movie, isn't it?" So maybe you start talking, having a joke or something. You say, "Hey, why don't we go together to watch that movie one day?" You know, and you might go with a friend and make it. Say, "Yeah, sure." Some reason, or you might go to some kind of club or something you do, or sports, or it might be a computer game shop or something. You're talking to someone, you know, who's interested in the same kind of things as you, and then as long as you make connections in life, that's the thing, and you make steps from there. Friends, having a friend, having someone to communicate with can really make you feel settled and more at ease, and it can make you feel, sometimes, it depends on the person of course a little bit, it's like, most importantly, it depends on yourself. Like you can calm yourself down, and you feel better, and you feel more relaxed, and you feel that you're getting some feedback. We all need some feedback and communication. Do speak online with people, do learn more about what's out there information-wise, inspire yourself, relax, watch a film, watch a documentary or something, learn more, get more information, use the internet to your advantage. That's a really good bit of advice there. All kinds of addresses, phone numbers, any way you can contact people. Find the world out there and find what you want to find and what's near or closer to you. And believe me and you will find people that may give you more information towards this or that, or to a better job, or to somewhere or someone. You could end up living somewhere else, moving somewhere else, and doing something else with your life, and you could be out of that situation. And sometimes it takes a step. You have to like talk to your family and that, and say like, oh, what you want to do, and you're going to do it, and it's like you've got to make an eruption, not get into a fight or anything, but sometimes you have to make decisions for yourself. And so I'm going to do it, and look at it like, well, I'm not going to get killed for this, am I? Obviously, right? Look at it, you know what I mean? And you always be ready, but you know, and you know, martial arts has kept me on the right path, as I say. Start doing some exercise, take care of your body, start training your mind on all different levels. I might make videos about this too. Training your mind in all different levels, the way I've done in many situations in my life. In different situations, to control your mind in different ways. It's kind of like a meditation thing in a way, but it's like you focus, I should say, in yourself. But look for things you can do. They might sound a bit like cryptic, but find things that you can do in the world, good for yourself. Go out. You know, you might be walking down the street, or you might have gone somewhere. You might be on your way back from somewhere on a bus, and you'll be thinking, hey, I could ask about that. But are you going to do it? If you don't do it, that could be it. You could be stuck in your situation now forever. Or that, just doing that could help you get somewhere else. You ask someone a question, and remember, you might get a lot of answers back. None of them may be the answers that you were expecting, but any of those could be very useful. It's like, hey, do you have a key for that door? Sorry, no, but they might give you another 3 different keys, and those keys you might not care about those other doors, but you might find the key you want behind one of those doors, or you might find something better. Or you might, well, I'll give you a spoon, you know what I mean, a spoon, it might come in handy later, you know, or for this or that, you know. So, I'm just saying, you've got to find it your way. So, but you've got to want to get out of a situation, and not just want, act upon it. Plan a little bit, fair enough, and think about plan B, and think about what you could do if things mess up, and give yourself more of a fail-safe. And remember, nothing's perfect too, so everything you do will be imperfect, but the most important thing is you're alive. You're safe, right, for the most part, and, or, you know, save their health, you know, you understand that, right? You think about things. Be careful, you know, study the law, and if you want to know more about the law, be careful, or talk to someone else who might know. Talk to someone who's older than you, talk to someone who's coming from a different background, and definitely speak to the people who know more about what you're interested in, because sometimes they might know more. They might be answering. When you want to know the road ahead, ask those coming back, right? That's one of the old Chinese proverbs. So when they're coming back, really, ask them, oh, what's it like up ahead? So be careful, there's a wolf up ahead, or there's a fucking someone doing road works up ahead. So you need to ask people. They might tell you things that you didn't know, and you go, oh. So like, you know, it's like you want to buy some new software to do something on the computer, you know, and you say, no, don't buy that, because you need this type of hard drive, or whatever. Oh, so you need to know more about things before you can do more, right? But you must have that basic goal of what you want to do, and take steps. Every step you take is a step closer to what you want. That thing is coming closer to you. It's just there for you now. Anything you want in life is there. The riches, everything. Okay? But you must be careful about it. I mean, don't take the negative path. No, okay? And peace can be yours today also, if you take the right steps. Don't take steps. Don't try and deal with, you know, how can I say it? You know, don't deal with shit and then try to deal with that. Sometimes you've got to drop the shit and rubbish and just do something what's worth for you. That's what I'll say. Thank you very, very much, Demzly, for having me on the show, and thank you everybody for watching. Martial arts forever. Like, I hope you can enjoy my cartoons and my martial arts videos and whatever else. Just be yourself, love your life. Thank you for watching. It takes patience to listen to another human being sometimes, right? No, yeah.
So, I'm going to leave this there. I'm going to get Gladys. Come here, Gladys. Let's get this music set up. Let's get some rap on the go. Right then. This is actually dedicated to one of my friends who actually did this video. Okay? I did a bit of rapping. Wushurichard, ladies and gentlemen. Give him a round of applause. Smashing that. Keep going on the right. You ready? Hold on, right there. Bang the leg. True back style. Thanks.